We found out not long ago. Whoa. This kid is ready to be in the show. Whoa. How do we go? How do we go? He can dangle hands so sick. Whoa. Back of the net, right off his stick. Whoa. How do we go? How do we go? How do we go? How do we go?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another day on the Nielsen Show. Thank you very much for being here. Dusty and LTE with you bright and early. Thank you very much for being here. Everybody already hammering the nasty chat. Gotta love you. Tell your friends about the show. While you're there, hammer that thumbs up. That'd be nice. Let's crush over 100 likes today. That would be absolutely tremendous. Lieutenant Eric, good morning. How are you, bud?
Yeah, I thought you would have started the show with the Bichette rounding third.
It's on the list.
Song. Yeah. But, I said to people, I'm in the chat, I said I love you. I think that's a nice way to kind of start.
It's a nice way to start the day.
A general greeting. I don't love anyone in particular more than anyone else, but yeah. Was it one love, hey?
One love. I think you say one love, and then you go like this.
I thought you went there.
Oh, I don't think I can do that. Oh, that was a real good one.
Yeah.
Maddie, can you turn on my headphones again? There we go. I'll jam those things in because I think I am partially deaf. Lots of people already chiming in. I love it. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can get in on the Paris Jewelers inbox as well. We are expecting a little bit of a visit.
Nothing yesterday?
Nothing yesterday.
I was waiting.
I know for sure we have one visit coming today. Corey, show meet, drop off today.
He's wheeling it in.
Probably not during the show, but he said he'll be here sometime between 12 and 2. So he's going to drop off some show meat for I Got Beef tomorrow.
We have a staff meeting. Wouldn't that be nice to just pick away at old show meat Otani? While
that would be amazing. It is staff meeting day. We'll go over the agenda a little later on the show.
I do like getting this public.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. Like, there are a number of people. I'm pretty sure, like, if we were to stream the staff meeting live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, we'd have at least 90 weirdos who are like, I'm going to watch the boys' staff meeting today. Let's see how this thing operates.
You throw down a couple odds prior to, you know what I mean? And we're all laughing.
Exactly. I think that works out pretty well. People, it's going to take an adjustment for some people. Mac Ramala is going to join us on Wednesdays now. It's going to take a little while for people to get those EST Mac Ramala intros in on Wednesdays as opposed to Fridays. Move the whole schedule around. But we'll certainly get into a few of those as we work our way through the show this morning.
It's the beauty of the show, too. We're borrowing a bit from what we had, but also with the insider lineup, too. It's just a bit of a mix to keep you on your toes.
A little bit of a mix.
Right,
you got to stay on top of things.
No.
I think that's good. EST legal analyst and guy whose latest off-Broadway play has been reviewed in the New York Times as being provocative, brave, erotic, and the strangest interpretation of Disney on Ice they've ever seen. Basically, a naked man in hockey skates running around on stage for 3 hours. That one in from Vance Van Vandervan today.
Brave,
it kind of sets the tone early here, I think, for some Mac Ramala texts. I think I already see Tube Socks sliding in here as well. I'm sure he'll have a few that will work into the show today as well. 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox is where you can get in on the show today. Paris Jewelers, if you're looking for those Star Wars pendants, Ahsoka just wrapped, I do believe. I still got a couple episodes to watch. But yeah, they got a bunch of stuff going on over there. They're going to drop some stuff off here too, which is going to be great. Paris Jewelers, Canadian family-owned, 23 locations across the country, which is awesome. Flexible financing options available, including do not pay for 1 year in store. So if you're broke right now, but you think, hey, maybe I'm going to win the lottery, get some jewelry, and then if you win the lottery, you can pay for it at any point within the year.
Why wouldn't you be thinking that way? That's the you got a positive thought, right? Manifest that lottery win.
You should always be thinking that you're going to win the lottery.
Each purchase you make should be dependent on that thought.
You're
in the vehicle business
the weird
right
thing
now, right?
is that I don't technically play the lottery, but I like to always think, I'm going to win the lottery one day. But I'd never go and say, hey, give me the Lotto Max or the 649 or whatever it is.
Like the guy at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge who doesn't get in the draw box and is mad that somebody actually gets drawn from the draw box in which he didn't enter the draw box to begin with.
Is there a guy who
wild
does
stuff? Oh yeah.
I will say,
always one.
I am very excited for Thursday's party. I don't know how I could have ever gotten excited for a Bears-Commanders game, but here we are, and I'm counting down the sleeps till we got our whole crew at Century Casino Fort Road in the Sports Bar and Lounge for the game tomorrow, and we're going to give away a spot on the hangout, and it's going to be a really good time.
It's the smoked brisket cheesesteaks. That's what it is. It's the game. I mean, you could have anybody playing, take any two teams from any sport, really. But yeah, as I said, they've got the ponies, they've got the Caliente dog track, and then sometimes on some of the TVs they'll put up the World Tag Championships while the game's going on. So
yes, they will.
So we're going to have a lot of stuff to entertain, not to mention everybody's, what is it, dad night? Like all the dads are coming out except mine. I got Luke, my brother. Will that
Is Luke
suffice?
coming too?
My brother. There'll be some blood
man.
from my family coming out. My brother will be
As
there.
Mary J. Blige once said, it's a family affair.
But what's the daddy night? Everybody's daddy's coming.
So YouTube Trev's daddy's coming.
Yeah.
Your brother's coming. And after fantasy football finals, he's kind of your daddy.
Oh,
sorry, I had to. The HR daddy's supposed to come. Tommy Gazzola's mom is coming for sure. Possibly his dad.
fresh off a European trip.
Fresh off a
She's
trip
gonna have
to
stories.
overseas, so she'll be great. Maddie, do we have any of your family members coming out? You would be the one.
Brother?
Is like a cousin? Can
Uncle?
you invite a cousin?
I'll have to chat with them.
Okay, well, all right.
I want a third cousin twice removed
We'll
or
take
something,
it.
like really, really down the line.
Yeah, that would be. This is somebody who's currently having blood work done and could be a relative. He's going to join us as well. So make plans to join us. This guy's done such a good job selling the casino sports bar and lounge that I'm very excited to go check it out.
It's not even a job.
If this brisket doesn't blow my mind, I'm going to be very disappointed.
The bun is nice and soft, and then so if that's your missile, anything inside of it is just going to be. And then the brisket, the peppers ends. You can Gage needs the peppers on it. You can ask. You can make it your own. But the cheese, the smoked brisket, the soft bun, choice aside. You can thank me. You can thank me tomorrow night as you're diving into
in
it.
person. That'd be great. Join us. We would love for you to support one of our partners at Century Casino Fort Road. Your text today, one of you will win text of the day, which will be a gift certificate to A&W, where they have the new Super Crunchy Chicken Cruncher sandwiches. I love that, the Super Crunchy Chicken Cruncher sandwiches. They are now there. You can get the Nashville Hot, the Chubby Chicken Cruncher, and the BLT Chicken Cruncher. These things are good to the very last crunchy crumb. Try them right now at all A&W locations. Here's what happens. You win text of the day. You swing by the office. You pick it up. You go directly to an A&W, which is only like 4 or 5 minutes from basically anywhere you're at in the city, and pick yourself up a Chicken Cruncher. I think you'll probably end up liking that.
Try all three
as well.
Do a little taste test, you know?
That would be
line
good,
them all up,
actually.
take a bite, yeah.
Close your eyes and be like, which one? Yeah. That would be
Unbiased,
good.
you know? Yeah, really kind of figure out which one you love the most.
Barry is in and says, guys, we could watch handsome Tommy G roll in 13 minutes late for the staff meeting. Well, he better not be late for the staff meeting today because he's supposed to be on the oil stream at noon. Ew. So that would be awkward situation.
Well, either or you show up at the casino tomorrow night, guaranteed he's rolling in, midway through the first quarter or maybe the second.
No, because there's beer there.
Ah, yes.
He'll probably be there early. Where's
3
Tommy?
p.m.
He's passed out back. I could see that happening. He
be doing the latest video from our Alley Cat Brewery tour up, just kind of getting on that.
It should be good because it's a game day. I think Tommy's going to be here in studio for Oil Stream in a suit. We're going to suit it up Tommy and old Cool Bet T-shirt Dusty on the Oil Stream today at noon.
He'll be smelling good too. You
right
know
here.
that, eh?
Oh, he'll be. You think he looks good usually? Wait until you see him today. Strummy's in and says ETS. It should be EST legal analyst and guy who uploads his Tinder pics upside down. So when girls turn their phones and swipe left, it actually swipes right.
That's not a bad play there.
A real trickster.
Give him credit.
A real trickster today. That's good as well. So keep hammering the nasty chat. I'm going to lay out the show here for you, and we'll dive into, I think we've probably delayed long enough talking about the Toronto Blue Jays in the playoffs.
We can talk some Marlins. I mean, I know it wasn't there, but they're back, baby. They're in the playoffs.
At least they're back,
fun.
right?
Yeah,
let's play ball. It's game day.
you get swept in Philadelphia as the Marlins or for a Marlin, like whatever.
fine.
You're here.
Bonus.
If anybody's having a champagne celebration to get in the wild card, it's them. That's nice.
I mean, they could get swept
care.
here in the wild card series,
Nobody
and
cares.
people for years would be like, "Remember that? That was great."
Remember
They got swept though. No, but it was great. That was great. That's great stuff. So it is meeting day here at the office.
meeting day.
We might get into
more,
that.
more
Yeah,
than
it's-
one.
it's meeting day in a
that's-
couple of ways,
Yeah,
which
I
is
love
good. We'll dive into that fun stuff a little bit. For those of you who conduct regular business meetings, every couple of weeks, every week, is there anything we need to add to our meetings? What could you do? Does somebody like this, Maddie, have to do a PowerPoint presentation every 2 weeks at the meeting?
Do we do
or
some physical activity like a trust tree where we catch ourselves, something to get the lymphatic system going?
do we do a Big Brother style contest where we vote one person out every week?
Maybe like an improv session, half hour?
Oh,
hey?
that's good.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, I do like to go around the table today. There's only the 5 of us, but be like, you know what? Tell us something about you that we didn't know. Like
Yeah,
real,
those are always fun.
A pickleball tournament like the Oilers, to build up team spirit. That's good. So we'll get into that a little bit. Name the beer with Alley Cat. Few more good names rolling in yesterday. So we will continue this conversation around 6:45 today. YouTube Trev did post that video that he put together of our little trip down to Alley Cat. And if you have not checked it out just yet, you're going to want to go do it. Kind of played a little game.
Guess who was there 2 hours prior?
Guess who was there early and had a couple beers and was already buzzing when we shot the video. Hint, it was not the 3 of us, and it wasn't YouTube Trev. So you can go watch that video. It was the guy who was trying to steal a 12-pack from the cooler inside his jacket. So
it didn't take
it's
much
good.
convincing to tell him I might stay for one more.
Yeah,
he was all, waiting for somebody to ask.
Yeah, we left. Tommy texted me at 12:30 from the Alley Cat tap room and said, "Hey, Dusty, can I get a ride?" Like he just really tied one on.
I do like the idea of somebody sitting on a real good name and kind of waiting till the end of this.
Right to the
really
end?
kind of like
On-
biding their time.
on
letting everybody
Thursday night?
All the hype, the What Say Brews and the 6 o'clockers, and then all of a sudden they unleash some real hammer. I'm waiting for it.
Boom.
I'm waiting like a tube socks type of thing, just sitting on it. Sitting and waiting.
Last night, I believe there was a text. I was in the inbox last night testing some stuff. I believe there was a text from somebody who was like pleading with us to not name the beer anything nasty involved. He goes, "Please, for the love of God, do not put the word nasty on the can of your beer. It will not sell." Like he was very passionately worried that we're going to botch this name thing. It's going to completely ruin the beer. With that being said, Cam from Alley Cat, when we chatted with him, I did a little interview with him, and you see part of it in that video Trev put together. He did say, your placement on the shelf and how much your can stands out and the name of it is really a big way to sell a beer, as opposed to just how delicious it tastes.
It is, yeah.
Which always kind of surprised me a little bit.
See the word nasty. I
Like the one name I didn't mind that came in yesterday was Nasty Cat. Like it ties into Alley Cat.
had a real mean cat
Yeah,
in there.
yeah. Toss me a Nasty Cat. Like it's not bad. It could certainly work in
I'm
there.
seeing a logo actually in my mind, the face of like this like a panther type of cat.
Yeah.
With, like black with some whiskers, like a real, but kind of just the face of one.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Kind of like the Florida Panther logo, but a little different.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like a cougar or something, Jamie
McLennan's going to pop by. How good is this? Noodles is going to join us today, and every single Wednesday just after 7 o'clock. I'm confidently saying we have the best hockey lineup in the city with what we've dropped here. Drager, Button was absolutely amazing yesterday. Jamie McLennan, Luke Gazdick's a rising star, I believe, in the media industry. And then you've got Mike Johnson, who already has established himself as just a phenomenal talent.
I'll take this Wednesday 7 o'clock stack here of Noodles and Macromella.
Noodles and
Hump day,
Macromella.
here we go.
That's a
come
nice
on.
stack. That's a nice stack. And tossed in the middle there, free advice today. for Damon Bunting, your local. He runs the local university for slumlords.
He's
gonna
Bunting
join
is
us.
sandwiched right in between the two.
Yeah,
That's
well, it's a
even-
great spot to be,
the
man.
7 o'clock sandwich is
That's
delicious.
a real
Yeah.
nice spot to be. So what do you need help with from an advice perspective today? Hit us up, and we'll go there around 7:25. 3 questions too many, kind of easy trivia just after 8 o'clock. Greg Wyshynski's going to pop by at 8:25. Brought to you by Metal Supermarkets. I drove by Metal Supermarkets the other day. I was like, hey, Metal Supermarkets.
And you roll down your window
Your
and yell
convenience
metal.
store for as I was driving by. They must happen to them all the time. Anyway, Wyshynski's going to join us around 8:30 today. So we got a nice little hockey show lined up for you. 780-218-9999. EST legal analyst and person who orders beef dip with a hold the meat and substitute ketchup for the au jus. Eric Macramella. You're just dipping a bun in ketchup. And I'll be honest, I've probably done that in the past. So that's good. NM in the nasty chat today. Your meetings should consist of required urine testing.
First matter of business. Hey, we pass the cup around and
We all piss in the same
the
cup.
same cup. Yeah. Well, it's a collective. Are any of us, high? And then we put it in the thing. Yeah.
But that way, it remains anonymous. So we don't know who's high for the meeting, right? Like,
Yeah.
we wouldn't know who's high for the meeting. So if we, all piss in the same cup.
YouTube Trev's just on HGH
Yeah,
here and nobody knows, eh? Like,
we piss in the cup, make Trev smell it for charity. And then if he says it's good to go, we can have the meeting.
I don't mind that.
That's
Something like that,
actually
yeah.
well done. Well done. That's pretty creative. I like the way that you laid that out there this morning. Hey, it is game day. Oilers and those bastards from the South, Calgary Flames. We'll get into that as we work our way through the day today. We have literally, what I just said, Calgary Flames might have been the first time we mentioned the Flames since we relaunched the show September 6th. When would we have talked?
There's another
Maybe when they named Backlund captain, you might have read something on that one.
Yeah, probably, hey.
But we've done a pretty good job. We've done a pretty good
Didn't play
job
that
ignoring
playoff
it
song yet.
so far. No, we haven't.
That's it,
We
yeah.
haven't got into any of that.
Other than
so,
that, yeah.
Conch for us.
Why would we?
Avoiding those guys so far.
I mean, we're talking NHL, not AHL, right? Right? That's
Yeah, that's right.
NHL show. Yeah.
This is going for Stormy too. Take one person's cell per meeting, plug it into the big screen, and go through everything with a fine-tooth comb.
Can I request Tommy's?
I was just gonna
please,
say.
please. Tommy's every meeting. You're not getting anything off ours. Anything worthwhile. Right?
We put up a little Dropbox, and he doesn't know it, but every day I'll just the meeting will draw one name from it, but it's only filled with Tommy's. So every week we just it's Tommy again. What are the odds of this?
I will pay. We could charge. We could do some nasty YouTube chat here. People would pay money, pay-per-view.
If we can raise $10,000 for charity, we'll go through Tommy's phone live on this show. That would be that's an EST after dark.
You take the photos or the texts on their own,
Yeah.
but getting the whole phone would be treasure trove.
I think that would be pretty good. Pat Maroon's bib on YouTube. Can you believe that the NFL planned a game specifically to celebrate 1 month of EST being on the air? That is nice of them. It's the Bears and Commanders.
Yeah, well,
so
hey, Ron Rivera, let's
we'll
go.
take it. We'll take it, but it should be pretty good. I think somebody texted in and said HR Mummy is coming as well. I didn't know.
I was waiting for you to get
I didn't
to
know
that.
if both my parents were coming. I know they're both coming up. I thought my mom would kind of want to stay home and put the kids to bed. So I don't know.
no.
We'll have to see.
Just
how
come
it
for
all-
that smoked brisket
how it all
cheesesteak.
works
That's
out.
all in caps letters, lots of exclamation points on that text. That's a text with meaning right
That's
there.
from HR Mummy.
Yeah.
That's what that one would be, I would think. Okay, the Toronto Blue Jays.
Hey. You said the long ball. You said it.
Did I not say it?
You said it.
We went through the 4 keys, and one of the keys was containing the Twinkies and the long ball, and they did not do that
You like to
yesterday.
go deep.
Lewis managed
Yeah.
to knock a couple out of there.
But you get the bats. Like, I mean, we're the bats.
The
right?
bats
Kevin
are
Gausman,
non-existent.
I mean, it's,
Well, Gausman, it sucked.
you can understand, but it's if you had, this is baseball. A little bit of support there, I guess, early on in Gausman, and then you talk about the Bichette thing, and then it all kind of unravels. And this is a team in the Twins who haven't won a postseason game in like.
They'd lost 18 in a row. It was a North American record, I think.
And I've been chirping all weekend to people, you want the Twins, you want the Twins, you want the Twins.
This is that classic saying.
And here we
be
are.
Careful what you wish for. That's exactly what ended up happening. You get a 2-run bomb in the first inning. And Gausman said after the game, he basically said, the book's out on me. I'm a 2-pitch guy, and my splitter wasn't going. So it wasn't. I mean, there were a lot of misses with the splitter from Gausman. Really, it's tough to sit here this morning and say, they're done.
Yeah.
But if they had a legit shot at winning this thing, I really think they needed Gausman to be lights out yesterday.
That was the hope,
Yeah,
right?
as far as the series goes, you kind of had to get the Gausman game. And
the talk all weekend, too. Oh, do you got to use him on Sunday? Do you have to,
Yeah.
yes, he gets to start. And so all of that hype and hoopla and talk and around your ace.
and it's gone.
And then it's gone. So now you have to, in a tight 3-game set, best of 3, turn this puppy around.
What was Bichette doing?
Well,
Because he wasn't even going full when he got to third. Like, if he had been going full and then turned and went, I kind of get it. If you watch on that play yesterday, he kind of hesitates at third, watches where the ball goes, and then still decides to go.
and third base coach wasn't doing the
third-
windmill.
the third
He wasn't
base
windmilling
coach-
in there. Like,
I mean, but I also don't think he was stopping him.
No, and
like
that's-
the third base coach was just standing there. It wasn't even close. I mean, they got him by a bit. And that was a major buzzkill. And then the bats. Like, that game, and we kind of tried to get all hyped up of Cool Bet Hotline of the Day. Let's get on the Jays yesterday. Mr. Lean over there in the corner
we'll
hit
get
2
to
leans.
that.
We'll get to
Yeah.
that as we work our way through the show this morning. But that game pretty much went exactly how you expect a Blue Jays game to go this season.
They are who we thought they were, I guess. You didn't want that to be, but this is what they've been.
I was watching On Right last night, and one of the stats that he pointed out, the Toronto Blue Jays had not overcome a 3-run deficit since July 9th.
Yeah, that's
Like,
rough,
you haven't pulled out one like significant come from behind victory the entire bloody season.
early July.
Early July. It's
We
October.
didn't have any of this here.
This is October baseball now. So that's a tough one. Corey in the nasty chat this morning. EST legal analyst this is Corey's going to be bringing by that show meet at some point today. EST legal analyst and guy who giggles whenever he orders a pork butt. That's so good because it's coming from a butcher. I like butchers only sending in meat-related messages.
You're going for that Otani butt, hey? That's the first.
Excuse
you're going
me.
after here. Give me that.
If pork butt is not delivered today, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. All right, our NFL party is ramping up. Very much looking forward to this. Also, Edmonton Oilers, Calgary Flames tonight. Is this you put the lineup out there? Did you put close to the lineup out there tonight? It's the Flames rolling in. I don't know how you don't actually give your entire top 6 a look.
Yeah, maybe you let the fans pick the lineup. You know, it is preseason. Do an online.
Preseason is so meaningless.
Pick your lineup.
An organization somewhere should allow that to happen.
Why not? There's got to be some team down south, way down south, that would do something like that. Why?
This is why many people have referred to you as a marketing genius.
Yeah.
Pick the lineup, but only if you're a member at Oilers Plus.
Yeah, now we're talking. That's the caveat there. Yeah.
I think from a
Get the
business
money,
mind. You know what?
money.
Put it on the agenda. Reach out to Oilers about helping Oilers Plus be better. I think that's something that we could probably help with.
Do you not value the fans' opinion? I would for one lineup in the preseason,
Yeah.
especially
Which is
against your
one.
hated rival, who have no window. And Gordo correctly pointed out that we were talking about their window. That's when we were talking about the Flames.
Oh,
ever so
that's
briefly.
right.
The window or the wall.
It
as
actually
some
ended
people
up
say.
being text of the day.
Yeah.
We had some pretty,
We had a
some
day.
pretty good
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah,
Thank you to the
good
Flames.
looking out,
Yeah,
Gordo.
it's-
Good looking
and
out.
Gordo.
Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. All right, let's get to a sports update. We will come back and dive into the Oilers and Flames a little bit here as well, and we're still looking to name that beer. We'll revisit that here around 6:45 this morning. He's cracking. He's cracking during the update. Unbelievable, this guy.
I could probably do both at the same
You
time.
could do both.
Yeah. It'd be more entertaining than Jay's bats last night. They were cold, non-existent, if you will, in a Game 1 loss to the Twins. Royce Lewis with a pair of home runs off Kevin Gausman. 3-1 your final mini, also snapping an 18-game postseason losing streak in the process. Elsewhere yesterday, Rangers shutting out Tampa 4-0. Diamondbacks double up Milwaukee 6-3. While the Phillies took Game 1 over the Marlins 4-1. All Game 2s will go later today, running them back at the same time. Jays Twins, first pitch 2:38. Jose Barrios will get the start. Oil Kings shutting out the Raiders 3-0 over in Prince Albert last night. Club will look for its third straight win when they visit the Blades tonight. They'll return home to kick off a 6-game homestand Saturday night against the Raiders. Oilers hosting the Flames tonight in preseason play. Edmonton round out preseason against the Kraken Friday before opening the regular season next Wednesday in Vancouver. Match day 2 in the UEFA Champions League group stage will continue this morning and this afternoon. Of note, Newcastle host PSG, AC Milan visit Borussia Dortmund, while RB Leipzig and Manchester City meet atop Group G. And you can join myself and the entire Edmonton Sports Talk crew tomorrow for Bears and Commanders at the Century Casino Sports Bar Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road. It'll be another chance for you to qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to LA to catch the Rams and Browns. The Century Sports Bar Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day.
The EST Hangout.
And so Giz and I and Willie Pless and Benny Goods, I took them up to the Northwest Territories. So we stop for a smoke break and we get out. Giz decides it's minus 35 degrees now, strips down to just his boots, and he starts sprinting across the ice. And he's the only thing contrasted against this white backdrop. He slides. Shh. He said, "Jay, look at me, Jay." And he's got nothing on. So we get in the car, and the guys are all in the car, and I get out, and he comes back, and he's like banging on, "Don't, no, man, it's cold, Jay, it's too cold." And I'm coming in behind him, and I'm just bap, bap, and you can see these big, giant, ashy handprints right on his gluteus maximus, right on either side. And he starts to cry, and he's got snot coming out. "Jay, it's so cold, Jay. No, man, I'm sorry, Jay. I didn't mean to do it, dog. Dog, it's so cold, man."
EST Hangout, weekday mornings at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio. Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast, located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielsen Show, featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Wednesday morning with the AM Nasty. Thank you very much for being here. If you are listening live right now on your phone, in your car, isn't it just like old times? Isn't it great?
And crystal clear.
Crystal clear, as we say, static free since 23, right here at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. gmail.com. If you need a conch this morning, let us know why. 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat this morning as well. Lots of Macramala intros rolling in. We're going to get to a few of those here today. I heard that Lock Shop promo in there. Huss and I are diving into an NHL futures episode today, so if you'd like to play some season-long bets on hockey, we're going to have you covered today, basically 45 minutes on NHL future bets. I'm sure Huss will have some sort of Blue Jays meltdown as well, but we're looking forward to that. We are looking forward to that one. Oh, also, I did confirm yesterday with him, boys, that he is totally on board for the 12-hour CFL free agency frenzy.
Of course.
Yeah.
Surprised you had to ask.
Yeah, he's going to fly out for it.
Yeah.
That's one. Now when Huss flies out here, he doesn't have to stay at my house. He can sleep on the couch here at the office, which
he'd love it.
Which is nice.
He's got all the amenities in the neighborhood, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's everything he needs.
He'll be right
everything
at home.
he needs.
This is like Winnipeg.
Yeah. Send your boots to the Paris Jewelers inbox today. Listening to the show from the beach in Carlsbad, California. What a time to be alive. Hey, mark it on the map. However, we do have a map coming.
Update on this, eh?
Yeah, give me the map update. I saw the email roll into our business account. Hey, if you ever want to work with us on any fun projects, business@edmontonsportstalk.com. There's no more lame middleman, so we can basically do whatever we want. So email us, business@edmontonsportstalk.com.
Now, I don't know what I haven't seen this email as of yet, but I've been chatting with this person via the Paris Jewelers inbox, and they're kind of playing a little game.
Yeah.
They don't know where we're located. They're also in the same area of town, but they're trying to kind of map together, if you will, or piece together where we're located without us actually telling the address. So the guy goes, well, we make maps. I got a map. I'll give you the map once I kind of figure out your address. I was like, well, I can tell you. It'll be really easy. But so anyways, they've got a map. I think he's got some sort of map that we can have. And he's kind of whittled down to where we are.
Well, he sent over a copy of the map he's made. It's got like an Edmonton Sports Talk logo on the bottom.
Perfect.
It's a classic world map. Now, I guess I would just print that off at one of my favorite places ever, Staples. Right? I think if we could get Staples as a sponsor on this show, man.
You did bring in a printer, but I mean,
I do. We want to print it off big, right? And then when somebody texts in and says, "Hey, I'm listening from Carlsbad, California," we say, "Mark it on the map," and Eric runs over and marks it on the map somewhere. So. That's the update on, I guess we don't need to talk about that at the meeting today.
Cross it off
the list.
It's nice to have a map of the world, though. Hey, you put it maybe in the boardroom or something. It would
be pretty cool.
It's Edmonton Sports Talk, but worldwide.
Yeah.
It's kind of more like
and we could have a little circle of where you can actually hear us. And it's the whole world.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just partially in the Edmonton area.
A lot of this during the meeting. We can do a lot of, that's kind of the vibe you're putting out there.
Today's bi-weekly meeting day for the crew here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Somebody said one of the things we need to put on the agenda today is, things we'll discuss later. Just kind of put it on the back burner for now.
On the next meeting.
Somebody said you always have to have a couple of things where you just go, you know what? We'll get to it down the road. So we'll have to come up with something like that.
Future aspirations.
Yeah, exactly. What goes on the agenda for the next meeting? Did you guys know, I guess I have meeting experience like this. We didn't have meetings like this really very often at all at the old building, but, you weren't in 4-H Club, right?
No.
Anyway, 4-H Club meetings prepared me for this. You'd have an agenda for a 4-H Club meeting, like the 14-year-old would be president and the 12-year-old would be treasurer and all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of just like that.
Yeah, could we have like an AGM as well? Like all these meetings combined into one,
Oh, that'd be real nice. I think we do it like
HR Daddy shows up, like it's a real big event.
Well, we'll have to run it by I guess just us, but like when the Oilers have their scouting meetings. They just go to Palm Springs for no reason at all. That's what we could do.
Rolling into Boca Raton, hey?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Hey, we're having our AGM. We're down here, and Boca Raton.
Just slumming around. Huss can come too.
That would be good. Jen says, hey, did anyone bring black coffee for Dusty to try yet? Who needs black coffee when you have a latte from A&W?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. You're a latte guy. We can't even.
It was very polite of him today because when I went through the drive-thru today, I said, yeah, I'll have a latte. And she goes, I just have to tell you that's no longer on special. I said, it's still special to me, damn it. Give me one. Regular price.
What a moment you two shared there, hey?
Yeah, that was really nice. It was really nice of them. Deans, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Deans, I feel like you could probably come up with a better YouTube handle. Anyway, it says, the MLB is insane for putting these hugely important games on during the afternoon on a weekday.
This is just like
interesting discussion.
This is just like the bitching about the celebrating with the champagne after a wild card clinch. Every year we have this, though. Every year we talk about
we have it, but this is more legitimate.
Well,
Like
because
this,
the
like
Jays are playing the first game, right? Like, or the second.
Yeah,
Is that part of it here?
Well,
Like,
but no, it's so for
it's
this
the
year,
Royals and whomever, we
for
don't
this
care.
year, it's 4 teams. That if you're a fan of the team, you're streaming it at work or you're sneaking away. Like if you care about baseball that much,
Yeah.
I don't know, Maddie. I feel like you'd have a hot take on this one. Where do you
It's
come out
catching
of
off guard,
like
though. I mean,
Major League
it's-
Baseball playoff games being scheduled in the middle of the weekday while people are
Every
at
year.
work?
They've been doing this for so long.
I know.
They know what they're doing with it. If it wasn't working, they would move it.
And it's almost, as you say, if you're a big, you kind of book the day off, or maybe you'd have this in your mind.
Americans love their matinees.
Yeah.
This is just like in soccer and stuff. A weekday at noon is very baseball. So why wouldn't you do that in the playoffs, where you then get to separate all your games and you spread them out so you get eyeballs on every single game, and they do it smartly, where the worst games are scheduled earlier and the more bigger
primetime games.
market games are scheduled later to get as much audience as you can. But if you schedule 4 games all at the same time, people could only watch 1 game naturally, maybe flip between 2. You stagger them all throughout the day, people have a chance of watching all of them throughout the day. And the easy thing
So do you
is
think TV basically is driving this? Is
100%.
that why they do it?
100%. It's only about TV.
100%.
It's only about TV. When you get to the postseason stuff like this is all about the money, and that comes from the TV. So this is a TV perspective thing here, and Americans, especially the baseball fans, they're used to matinees. They're used to afternoon games, not just on weekends, on weekdays.
Well, same as going out on a Monday night and giving it hell. Like Tuesday doesn't matter. It's
Here's the thing. Let's say the Oilers played a playoff game at noon on a Monday or a Tuesday or whatever.
People would bitch about it forever.
But how many people would still show up to Rogers Place? How many people
It
would
would be
still
sold
show up
out.
at
Employers would
how
be
many
giving people
people would
days off,
still
right?
show up at bars? How many employers would even just show it in their place? Are people really going to miss the game in Edmonton if the Oilers are playing?
I guess not. So maybe this is the best thing to do.
given our schedules, I love it. Like personally
Like,
speaking,
yeah,
I
but,
love
but
getting
we're
afternoon,
usually
get a
not
full
working
slate.
in the afternoon.
It's
like,
great.
I don't know, for like Jays fans who are working in the afternoon, would it be great? You'd have to PVR the game and watch it. Like for guys who are like out on site working, they can't watch the game or listen to the game. I mean, I guess it sucks for those guys, but for everybody else, maybe it's the way to go.
I don't mind it. I'm so
People
used
work
to
at
it.
night. You know, no one ever thinks about the night shift people here, and we're always playing sports at night, so
Yeah, but
Gotta deal
what's
with
the
it.
percentage of night
Gotta
shift?
These
deal with it.
Marlins, man, you're missing that one. It's
Yeah.
hey, you
Hey,
can go to a mall and work.
interesting text.
Malls are open till 9 o'clock. Grocery stores are open how long? There's a lot of people working.
retail.
Retail world.
Dean is back in, though. He's not going away here. He says, I'm sure the baseball weekday schedule is great for the hardcore fans, but it's a killer for casual and growing a fan base.
You could go watch
from-
sports at night
Well,
if
but
you're
from
a casual.
playoff perspective, you're not really. I guess you could say you want to grow the fan base, but the fan base is already rabid enough for the playoffs that you're just kind of taking what you already got, right? Like,
This is what they do.
I want to see them really step up and schedule a World Series game at 2:00 in the afternoon to dive into your they love matinee theories. You know,
11 a.m. Like
really early,
1 Eastern or something.
Why not do a triple header in the World Series and play 3 7-inning games? Really take it
Give
to
us,
the
you
next
could
level.
give us a double header.
A World Series doubleheader. Wouldn't that be something? Highly unlikely.
There's a game at 6 o'clock tonight.
It's perfect.
Anyone can watch it. There it is. For the casual fans, there's a chance to go watch a baseball game tonight.
Even
For the casual
508.
fans of just now, I'll not to. I don't know. I guess maybe there's still a lot of people like this, but like, do you think there are just casual baseball fans who like to just sit down and watch a baseball game and don't care about any team? That's you.
Yeah.
So you just sit down and you watch.
Yeah.
Marlins is a bad example because we kind of love the Marlins
Yeah.
anyway. But you would sit down and watch an Astros Mets game.
Especially,
no reason?
Well, at the beginning of the season, I'm jacked because ball's back, right?
But that lasts for like, what, 3 weeks?
Sure. But then you get to midsummer, dog days, nothing else is going on. Who doesn't like to kind of put on an old, 30-degree game from whomever, and you're just kind of like, this is summer, this is nice.
Yeah.
And then you get to playoff time, and you're like, things are heating up. Parks are getting packed again. So you kind of go on this journey of like, there's ups and downs, but there's 3 times during the baseball season, beginning, middle, and end, where I'm kind of like, I'll turn this thing on and just watch for the theater of it all.
Yeah, do you think that's good for a sport like baseball where it's like, oh, just put it on because it's on. It's just baseball. Like you don't like
That's the sport.
I like to back with the old schedule when I'd have some afternoon naps on a regular basis. Baseball was a great sport to put on to nap to. And it's great because you're clicking on it. I guess they don't really care if you're technically watching it. But at the same time, are you really doing things right if you're a good napping sport?
Look at the Riverhawks too. I mean, they weren't that good on the field this season. But we
I didn't even care. I don't care how they are on the field.
It's a nice day out the park. It's a beautiful park. The uniforms are bright and vibrant. I mean, there's always stuff going on, and you have a couple drinks and a hot dog, and you're like, this is great.
The thing about the nap part is one of the first battles you would have of any business is getting the eyeballs on you, getting to know you. And then it's trying to keep you there. If you're going to sleep to baseball all the time, you're there then watch it, and maybe you'll become a fan, and then all of a sudden you won't be able to sleep through it because you're now a baseball fan and you're invested. I'm not saying you, but in general. And so like that, I don't think is a problem at all for any sport, because if you're getting somebody throwing you on, now there's a chance you might be able to convert them to a fan because you've got past that first big hurdle, which was they put your game on.
Or they see some impressions on your advertisements and your clients.
Or you can't sleep without baseball. I know you're hooked.
Like, hey.
You can't. I need baseball to sleep, and you're kind of like.
If we could get Edmonton Sports Talk to be the napping station of Edmonton.
We'd take it.
I would take it the heck out of that.
It's on.
I think somebody else already is a front runner on that one. So we're working on it, but.
Somebody throws on our stream and just leaves it and sleeps through it. Okay, we at least know that they're listening, or we're attempting to. And now they know about us and they know about our business. And now it's try to get them to become an AM nasty.
So I guess the whole thing that comes out of this is tomorrow night or tonight when you go to bed, just throw on our YouTube channel because that's just one view and you can fall asleep listening to us.
It's a beautiful thing.
Just keep them going. Just keep adding up.
That or just throw the audio stream on.
Just throw on the audio stream, whatever. However you can get an impression for us.
And then the best part about the audio stream for sure, I don't know if it'd be for the YouTube, is that when you wake up, if you wake up at, let's say, 7 o'clock, you guys are already on there.
That's nice. Yeah.
You're just right there.
It's like we've never
They naturally join the show.
We stay with you all night long.
Morning, boys. This comes into the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. If you love somebody or are just trying to hook up with them, buy them jewelry at Paris Jewelers. Morning, boys. I don't know what the big versus baseball to me, what the big... This must have some autocorrects here along the way. Anyway, he's basically saying, Rob the Plumber basically saying playoffs or regular season, it's still slow and it's still boring. That's just my 2 cents. Have a great day. Love the show. It's not as slow as it used to be. It definitely sped up this year.
A lot, yeah.
And playoff baseball, I do get sucked into. I do.
It's every pitch. It's every pitch.
It's I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I mean, in a playoff baseball playoff game, every pitch,
regardless
is
of the teams, you can drum it up that way. Like
even if it's Gosman putting into the dirt with a splitter over and over and over again, still kind of exciting. Still kind of exciting. This one is in. It says, "This is how golf works on TV. Nap time for me."
And that's okay.
His handle is Shanked One, by the way, which is pretty good. I think that's rather creative. Anyway, if you want to chime in on this, feel free to do so in the Nasty Chat and on the Paris Jewelers inbox. Maybe you win text of the day. We do have some good Matt Gramala intros that have already rolled in. I've kind of started to set some of those aside. We'll start to build a little bit of a short list for that. Matt Gramala at 7:45 today. Jamie McLennan, as the graphic says, coming up at 7:05 today. And Greg Wyshynski at 8:25 today. Because if you love hockey, we've got you covered. How about this? I'm going to blow your mind right now. Ready for it? McDavid, Dry, and Nuge down the middle.
Center. That's wow. That's
Let's take a look.
What an idea.
I think it was
Let's get right here.
EST supporter RCN was tweeting about this. I want to get into the conversation. What's it look like? What's it look like if you run those three guys down the middle? Look, McLeod's not going to be up to speed. Hasn't done anything yet. You roll him in, fourth line, 8-9 minutes, run the big three right down the middle, start the season. That's just the equivalent of like whipping it out and flopping it on the table.
It's
like,
spinal.
Boom.
It's spinal. It's your spine. This is your spine of the forward group. It's spinal. You got to get that spine.
Let's get to an update with Lieutenant Eric.
Blue Jays bats ice cold in a Game 1 loss to the Twins. Royce Lewis with a pair of home runs off Kevin Gausman as Mini take a Game 1 3-1. Minnesota also snapping an 18-game postseason losing streak in the win. Elsewhere yesterday, Rangers shutting out Tampa 4-0. Arizona double up the Brewers 6-3, while the Phillies taking Game 1 over Miami 4-1. Game 2 of the Jays and Twins series goes this afternoon. First pitch, 2:38. Jose Barrios will man the mound. Oil Kings shutting out the Raiders 3-0 over in Prince Albert last night. Club remain on the road looking for their third straight win when they visit Saskatoon this evening. They'll return home to kick off a 6-game homestand Saturday night against the Prince Albert Raiders. Oilers hosting the Flames tonight in preseason play. Edmonton round out the preseason schedule against the Kraken Friday. They'll open the regular season Wednesday out in Vancouver. Match day 2 in the UEFA Champions League group stage continues this morning and this afternoon. Of note, AC Milan visit Borussia Dortmund, Newcastle hosts PSG, while RB Leipzig and Manchester City will meet atop Group G. You can join myself and the entire Edmonton Sports Talk crew tomorrow for Bears and Commanders at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. That's at Century Casino Fort Road. It'll be another chance for you to qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to LA to catch the Rams and Browns. The Century Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day.
Two guys and a goalie.
I don't mind analytics. I just don't like when people are like only analytics and only this, and they're like, oh, you can't do that, guy is, and so he's horrible. And I'm like, let's watch the tape, and then let's look at those analytics and say why some of that stuff happened before we make our decisions.
Cass is good in the sheets, the Excel spreadsheets.
I was going to say,
like
Cass, what do you think of analytics? By the way, this episode will be called Cassalytics. Hey, I think it's got to be.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey. Saturday mornings at 10. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout, and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We're still cruising along in the 6 o'clock hour. Jamie McLennan and Eric Macramala on the way. Coming up, let's dish out a couple of conches. I want to do this one, a conch. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter this morning, that fresh baby who's watching the show. Yeah, a conch to Brian and his fresh baby. That poor baby just pooped its pants. The conch coming through.
Enjoy,
oh my God,
Brian.
I can't believe that. I can't believe the boys just conched me, said the little baby. Let's get to a couple of your Macramala intros that have already rolled in today. Could be how you get the mixer text of the day from A&W. We got that A&W gift card. And a lot of people have been popping by here picking up those A&W GCs.
Busted in.
They want to get their grubby little mitts on it.
Well, how many chicken sandwiches can you buy with that thing? Like 2, maybe 3 at least. You throw in a $1 here or there to support the cause on the gift card.
Once again, the middleman has been eliminated, right? So, we used to give out the prizes on the radio, and then you would come to the radio station and you would pick them up from the lovely little lady sitting at the front desk. Now you literally just sort of walk in our door, and whoever's kicking around gets you your GC.
Yeah, and if we ever give out concert tickets, you're going to get both instead of just showing up and getting one. Like, hey, I thought I won. Like, they'd always skim a little off the top,
Yeah.
right? You win 2, you get 1.
I thought I won a pair of tickets. Oh, sorry, sir. You only won one.
I thought this was a $25 GC. No, it's
Yeah.
only $17 and something.
When they come to pick up the A&W gift card, we rip it in half and say you only get $10.
No skimming off the top.
Good
here.
luck doing
it's
this.
all you, yeah.
Anyway, you could get in the mix here for text of the day with A&W. Let's get to a few of these Macromala intros that have run. I like this one. EST legal analyst and guy who thinks if the Jays don't win the next one, they're done.
Bold play.
EST legal analyst and guy who identifies as a truck but goes around making cat noises. EST legal analyst and guys whose morning meetings are just the entire staff silently admiring his sexy poses in his latest Instagram post. Let's see what's going on in Instagram today. And then everybody just sits there awkwardly.
Up on the big screen, yeah.
By the way, if you have any ideas on how we should make our meeting today better, our office staff meeting today better, feel free to chime in. It's a pretty basic meeting right now. We usually crack a beer and sit around and BS about stuff. But let's make it more formal. What do you fancy business folks do in meetings?
I already suggested the half-hour improv exercise. So if you want to
That's
put
a
that
nice
on
one.
the thing,
We had the suggestion on everybody does a piss test into the same
cup.
same cup.
We got cups. There's a communal
Yeah.
kitchen here. It's easy.
Yeah,
We can
same
get the
cup.
You need a cup. We got a cup.
Same time.
Yeah.
EST legal analyst and guy who never told his kids to check their candy at Halloween because if you can't figure out that by 3 years old, you're not smart enough to actually be my kid. Eric Macromala. That's the theory of throwing them in the pool, and if they can't swim, well, then it wasn't meant to be.
Darwin, hey? Yeah.
EST legal analyst and guy who can't walk past a storefront window without checking out his ass in the reflection. Eric Macromala. That one in from Tube Socks today.
What a dumper.
As well. Look at my butt right now. That's great. VR Montenegro is asking, do you guys have an EST mission statement yet?
Well,
we
become
kinda do.
the best you can be.
I mean, become
think
the best you can be.
You guys put that back up on the wall. It's
That's
nice and
back up on the
straight.
wall.
It's very.
We also like your clear choice for Edmonton sports. One of those secondary branding things would be static free since 23. So there's a few different angles here. I guess we haven't locked in. You know what? Put it on the agenda.
Yeah.
Let's put it on the
why
agenda
not?
for the meeting.
We have a meeting to
What is it?
discuss, so-
Slogans? What was it?
Yeah,
mission
the
statement?
Mission statement.
God,
yeah.
mission statement.
objective.
I think there's companies out there who pay other companies to come up with their mission statement for them, which to me is just the most bogus thing of all time.
This could be another source of revenue for us. Put it on the thing.
How can you have somebody else come up with your mission statement?
We've got Edmonton Sports Talk to create our mission statement. We're bringing in the entire team, right? We could come in there and, they could piss test us if they want. I think that's another great way of revenue we can put towards the station vehicle and all these trips we've kind of talked about. Plus, Ironic's making us money hand over fist with his Champions League leans every single day.
A conch.
The man cannot be
A
stopped.
conch for the king of the lean.
I want to sing the Champions League anthem to you, Matt, because
Matt-
you are the champion.
Matty hasn't been talking much in the first hour of the show today because he's working on his leans for later on.
Yeah.
All he's doing is perusing different soccer betting sites.
Genius at work.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's
Put a sign up.
Sign on his
in the-
door,
you know, let's
genius at
put
work.
it on the meeting
Ah,
agenda
good idea.
today. Should we get a genius at work sign
for the office.
for the lean master? Genius at work sign. Let's put it on there. Somebody in the nasty chat today. Meeting idea. Everyone has to share 2 true things about themselves and 1 fake thing and let everyone guess. I mean, we've known each other. I mean, 4 of us have known each other for like a quarter or a third of our lives. So we should know a lot of stuff about each other, I would
That's
think.
what you think.
Nash says, I think everyone should have to wear a tuxedo and drink Big Bear out of a martini glass.
Don't talk to me about Big Bear. That was my corduroy pissing my
That's yeah.
You know that story.
I one time decided to
wanna-
tape one Big Bear to each of my hands, and I couldn't piss the entire night until I convinced somebody to like do it for me.
We've been down that
That
road and we don't
stuff's
need to go again.
gross.
What once is enough.
We will pass on the Big Bear in a martini glass for now.
It is Wednesday though, and Wildcat
Yeah.
Wednesdays was always
Wildcat Wednesdays.
Wildcat
That's
Wednesday,
not a bad
okay.
idea.
I had
Actually,
time for that.
I
Gotta be
don't
strong, though.
mind that
Yeah,
idea.
gotta be
either.
Wildcat strong.
Yeah, I used to have when we were in college, we made an entire coffee table out of Wildcat Strong and Wildcat because the bottle caps were different color.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you bottles.
bottle cap, Wildcat Strong
oh.
bottles, Wildcat Strong bottles, and we would we took all the caps and we made like our apartment number
Oh,
on the table.
that's neat.
And then when I took it home from university, my mom ruined it and gave the table to my sister. So we worked hard on that thing. Do you know how much Wildcat Strong you have to do to basically build a coffee
It's a
table?
lot of internal damage.
Yeah,
to your
there's a
system
lot
there.
going on there. Anyway, yeah, continue with your ideas on how we make our business meeting more official later on today. We would very much appreciate that. One of the things we'll get into in Noodles, so let's dive into it now. What if, do the Edmonton Oilers have the offensive depth? We always talk about building that heavy top six, right? And they do. They've got arguably the best top six in the league because it has two of the best 2 or 3 players, 4 players in the league. But what if you wanted to, and Nuge has talked about wanting to drive his own line a little bit more. That doesn't necessarily have to mean that line is the second line. What about a third line? What if you did something like this? Eric, what if it's not going to happen. There's zero chance Jay Woodcroft starts the season like this. I'm not going to criticize him for it. I just get intrigued by this idea. I think Jay handles his lineup relatively well. But I just want to dive into this just in case. McDavid between Kane and Brown. Still one of the best lines in the entire National Hockey League, I would think, even though we haven't seen it. I guess maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Draisaitl with Hyman and Holloway. That should still be, like, that's a first line on every team in the league, too. Like, that's a first line. And then you put Nuge with Fogle. And just because, like, a little bit more of an offensive bump there, Raphael Lavoie. And then you go McLeod with Ryan and Janmark, which actually could end up being a really, really good line in itself. Like, what's
That's,
wrong? What's wrong with that?
That's 3, 6, 9, 12 forwards.
12 forwards.
That looks nice.
That's
I
12
don't mind
forwards.
that.
Yeah,
There's no
scratch a
dog's
D-man in
breakfast
this
going
situation.
around down
No,
there.
that's like,
That's a pretty sturdy type of, you avoid the waiver thing with Raf, and all that. And
I think you're confident in McLeod, Ryan, and Janmark. And I think you should be confident in Nuge, Fogle, and Lavoie.
Why is this not working? Why is this not? You've dreamed this up. This is your fantasy.
Everybody comes up every once in a while with things like this, right?
Why not though? Like why are you so?
I'd like to see it at
Makes
some
sense
point.
to me. I'd love to see it.
I mean, first of all, could you possibly see it just because McLeod hasn't had any action yet? So you kind of start the season this way. You could do that. I also look at it from this perspective. Right now, if Raphael Lavoie makes the team, who's playing center in your bottom six? McLeod, and then I guess you could play Ryan at center. I don't love it. I guess you could play Janmark at center. I don't love it. I guess you could play Holloway at center. I don't love that either.
Options.
You know what I do love?
Options.
I do love Nuge and McLeod as your third and fourth line
yeah.
centers. And yeah, Nuge won't get 100 points, but he'll still be out on the number one power play unit, and he'll be a 60 to 70 point guy, but establish himself as a guy that can technically drive a line. And to be honest with you, of those 4 lines, I think the Nuge, Fogle, Lavoie one kind of would be the one that I'd be most nervous about, just because you don't know about Raphael Lavoie just yet, and Fogle can have his ups and downs. But what say you? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. I guess what I want you to take away from this exercise here this morning is that even with those 3 guys down the middle, you still have a really, really nice forward group. Like, that is something that could work for you.
Yeah, and you're betting on Lavoie. Like, I mean, it's Holloway too, assuming that these guys take another step. You just, no love for Lane, hey? No love for old Lane.
I think he's just basically holding McLeod's spot till McLeod's back, right? Mind you, I don't mind him. Like, if that's a guy who ends up playing games for you in the fourth line, I'm okay with that.
Another option.
Yeah.
Maybe not the ideal but an option. They have options there, and I like what you put down. I like that 12 group.
Guys, how come no one's given Malone a chance? I think he can make the team. He's a center, a good leader, and he's Woodcroft's boy. Malone's got a shot.
Is it Bugsy?
Bugsy, Tommy
yeah,
calls
yeah,
him Bugsy.
Bugsy.
T-Biscuit and Bugsy. That's a like 1920s gangster show.
Yeah, they're gonna go rob a bank.
T-Biscuit and Bugsy are on the track again. You could get into that for sure. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, he never does. Like you always think, oh, Malone maybe fits in there, and then just send him down. And he mentors all the young guys. Your thoughts on that? 780-218-9999. We'll continue this conversation. We got Jamie McLennan coming up. We want his thoughts on Jack Campbell's really nice start here in the preseason, at least as well. Macromala intros, he's going to pop by. We've got free advice coming up. Fantasy Football or Life, what do you need help with? Text us right now at 780-218-9999 or hit us up in the nasty chat this morning as well. Don't go anywhere. Jamie McLennan is going to join us in less than 4 minutes right here at EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
The Lock Shop.
Remember in the dark days of the pandemic when we were sitting around?
Oh, yeah.
What the heck were we doing? Ping pong was huge in the first few months. But yeah, God bless the KBO. I really came to appreciate the bat flips in the KBO.
They didn't mess
during that
around,
period
hey?
of time. You know, shout out to the KT Wiz. Became my favorite team through all of this. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'll be honest, I'm not hitting a lot of Japanese or Korean baseball right now because there's some big games in the majors that we're hitting right now.
The Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District, Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.703 on the Nielsen Show. Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric with you. We are chilling in the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studios this morning, and we're going to get some of these spicy ghost pepper seasoned sweet and spicy wings here at the office at some point.
I hope so.
Hey?
Yeah.
You really don't know much about a guy until you see him eat wings, right?
Do I need to go get some for the meeting today?
Well, not a bad idea. Maybe we add that to the list for staff meeting today.
I can do it.
You
I'm
know, let's-
mobile.
You know what? I think what we have to do here, and this is how meetings work, we can't make that decision right now. We have to discuss it in the meeting today for the next meeting.
Ooh, okay.
Right?
You
So
fast forward,
today
yeah.
we put on, should we bring in some form of chicken from Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen for our next
Some
meeting?
form. Could be the full bird, maybe. If you
Could be
want.
the whole
Yeah.
thing. So let me
Pick
just,
at it,
we'll
yeah.
put that on the list for the meeting today. I want to see how YouTube Trev eats wings. Because, you know, it could be a psycho like Rashad who uses a knife and fork. Could be like super gross and messy. Maybe he's like a real neat wing eater. So,
Maybe he loves flats.
wow. Well, that'd be the end of him. We'll get to that. Matt Kramal is going to join us. He's going to pop by here around 7:45 today, so keep those intros rolling in. You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. And, of course, on the YouTube chat over in the Nasty Chat, if you'd like to chime in this morning, feel free to do that as well. Maddie, are we good with noodles? All right, let's bring in Jamie McLennan, brought to you by our great partners over at Pro-Am Sports. You're looking for that Oilers Heritage Classic gear, jerseys, hats, and everything in between. They got you covered. Grant Fuhr signing as well. You can visit them on St. Albert Trail, 1 block north of Yellowhead, or online at proamsports.ca. Noodles, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning. I am so excited to be with you guys, but I have to be honest. This is the first time I've ever laid eyes on Lieutenant Eric.
Oh, get out of here. I watch you every day on Overdrive, man. It's like I'm on Overdrive now, you know.
I know, but I'm like, okay, so I see Dusty, you know, you and I, we've worked together, we've done, you know, stuff on site. I'm like, who the hell is that beside him? And then he's like, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Lieutenant Eric. So I'm putting a face to the voice because you're right. You and I have chatted for years.
Oh, yeah.
But we've never like seen each other unless we've been drunk at a bar or something and had like an hour
Possible,
conversation
yeah.
and I haven't remembered it. But honestly, there's the face. I love it.
It's a little emotional. I'm a little emotional right now. I can't lie.
Now, I don't know if you know the backstory on where Lieutenant Eric got the Lieutenant Eric name, but it's actually a really good look today. It was like 10 years ago. I walked into the station one morning, and he was sitting on a chair, but he was sitting on his legs, and he's wearing like an army jacket, and he looked just like Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump.
Cut off at the
and I
knees.
was like, well, you're Lieutenant Eric now, and it's just stuck forever.
I love that because when you know, I'm always linked on your guys' Twitter and stuff like that. You tweet stuff out, and whenever I see Lieutenant Eric, I always think in my mind Lieutenant Dan because the Forrest Gump is one of my favorite movies, and people have always called me the Forrest Gump of the NHL because I was always in the background of like crazy stuff happening. So there it is, Lieutenant Eric.
Hey,
I
when
love
you
it.
come
So-
back home here, I'm taking you out. We're going out to Bubba Gump's, just you and me.
Ah,
We'll have a night. We'll do
dude.
the shrimp. We'll do the whole thing. Yeah.
Have you been to Bubba Gump's in West Edmonton Mall, Noodles?
No, there's actually, I thought you were joking. There's
No,
actually
no
Bubba
joke.
Gump's
No,
at-
at West Edmonton Mall, there's a Bubba Gump's. If you love the movie, man, you got to go in. They have the movie playing on a constant loop the entire time you're there. It's incredible.
I will come and have a beer, and I will have some appetite. I'm not a big fish guy or whatever, but if they have like chicken breast, I will have a chicken breast and a beer.
Great
Chicken
steak.
fingers and fries because I have the palate of a 4-year-old. So there you go.
So do I. When I go there, I get the deep fried chicken. It's delicious. It's absolutely tremendous. You know, you mentioned you're not a big fish guy. We had this huge debate yesterday when I didn't really know what clams were. Do you eat seafood of any kind?
None.
Okay, good.
None.
Good.
I tried. What is the one where you like people like put Tabasco on it and like they pour
Oyster.
it in?
The
What is
oyster
that?
on the half shell there, yeah.
Oyster.
Yeah.
It's a random story, but I was years ago out with we'll call it a power couple in Canada, and they were having oysters, and the wife said to me like, try these, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to waste your money, like it's because I'm sure they're expensive, and it's like, for me, a good bottle of red wine would be wasted on me because I have no palate for it. So just pour me from a box and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between good red wine and bad one. Same thing. Like, why are you wasting an oyster on me? Because I wouldn't appreciate it. I don't have the palate. I tried it, but then I had washed it down with about 10 vodka, so I don't really know how it tasted.
Is this not what you guys made me do last year? Did I not try an oyster?
I think you did.
That's what we did at the station. You made me try an oyster with the little seasoning salt or whatever it was.
that was a shrimp ring.
No, I had the shrimp ring. I'm pretty sure
Did
you
you have
brought
an
in an
oyster as
oyster
well?
in a can, and you made a
The
Christmas
smoked oysters.
Smoked
Smoked
oysters.
oysters.
Tabasco.
Smoked in the thing.
at Christmas time.
Yeah, but I'm talking off the shell. A little different, bit of a different game.
Real fancy, pretty boy
Yeah,
off the
yeah,
shell.
the
Like
money,
the
the money,
power
yeah.
couple here with
Yeah,
Noodles.
yeah.
All right, Noodles. Let's get into it. Jack Campbell looks really good so far in the preseason, man. I mean, I'm sure you had some great preseasons. I don't know what it led to, but considering what we saw last year from him, just the way he looked to handle himself in net in that last preseason game, it looked different. It looked more confident. How much can you read into it? How much should we read into what we've seen from him so far?
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think I've said on this show, and I believe with you guys, I think Jack Campbell's going to have a big season, a bounce back season. And I said it at the end of last year, and Ken Holland deserves credit for the comment, because I remember in his presser at the end of the year, he said, if you look around the league, guys who changed teams, not everybody had banner seasons. You look at Huberdeau, Kadri, Jack Campbell. The only guy who did was Matthew Tkachuk, who was up for, he was brilliant from the drop of the puck. But outside of that, there was a lot of guys who changed teams. DeBrincat went to Ottawa, didn't have a great season statistically for himself. So I look at it, and I bookmarked that, and I said, okay, Jack Campbell's a guy with a lot of pride. He's going to have a good offseason, work at his game, and come in, and he's going to feel a lot more comfortable in his environment. And I come back to, I watched both games that he's played. He looks comfortable. And that's the Jack Campbell that the Edmonton Oilers signed. So does that mean he's going to be a 65-game starter? No. But what it does mean is now you've got two capable goaltenders, that if one of them takes a step back, the other guy's ready to pounce. This is a healthy goaltender competition, and it's got nothing to do with Stuart Skinner. It's more about the health of Jack Campbell and him feeling good about his game. I think this bodes well for the organization.
Who do you think starts opening night? Do you give it to Skinner because he was so important for you last year? Or if Campbell has another preseason start and looks really good, is that like the ultimate confidence boost for him to be like, hey, you're our guy opening night?
You know what? It's tricky, because you're right. Because that comment, that statement of like, you get the net game one, that might send a ripple effect. Now, it might send a ripple effect in the media, with the fan base, all of that. It'll be noisy. We'll be talking about it. But remind me of their schedule. Do they play 3 and 4 to start the season? Like, what does it look like? I haven't really dug deep into their schedule, because it might be, okay, Jack gets game 1, Skinner gets game 2. Like, if they're spaced out, or there's maybe a back-to-back early on, then it's really about getting both of them playing. And
It's spaced out to start. It's they play on the 11th and then the 14th and then the 17th. So there's a lot of rest time early in the season here, I guess, for the Oilers.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I know that Jay Woodcroft has a deep relationship with Skinner, but I also think you're going with, you want to create that healthy competition where it's like, okay, Jack, you came to camp in great shape. You looked good in the preseason, and we're going to reward you with not starting. So, and Skinner's been okay. What game was it that I watched him the other day? Was it Vancouver? I didn't think he looked very good against Vancouver.
Yeah, there was a couple against Vancouver that probably liked back.
Yeah, a couple of grease. Yeah, the Hughes backhand kind of the short side. I didn't love that. It was a great play by Hughes, but it was a bit of a broken play. But that being said, I think whoever starts game 1, it's more about how they balance the games moving forward. So I really want to see a tandem situation. It's like you're going, and you go back and forth until somebody separates. And like I'm fine with it, but based on how they played the preseason so far, yes, Jack Campbell has played better than Skinner. But again, there were times where I had great preseasons and Mika Kiprusoff not so good. Mika was in game 1. We know that.
How ridiculous is it, eh? An old boys club. Unbelievable.
No doubt.
What do you got?
Well, no, Noodles, like, and again, as you said, you've played around the league in various, roles, I guess, positions within your position of goaltender. But take us kind of behind the mask of Stuart Skinner, the season he had, of course, preseason early on, but we're not reading too much into that. But all the talk about Campbell, and you mentioned, I think it will be a healthy battle. Not saying it wouldn't be, but take us kind of behind the mask of a goalie who, and a local guy too, who has had success now and now is kind of being talked of or thought of as the secondary, which again, I'm not saying he is, but whenever there's a tandem, even two quarterbacks or whatever, there's always the guy, right? Even in a tandem. So how would you go, how would you kind of explain maybe, again, behind the mask of what Stuart's feeling right now or going into the season where, he had the season he had last year and all the accolades and praise, and now everybody's all of a sudden talking about Campbell, and rightly so, but where does that kind of leave him mentally, and how do you kind of do that balancing act both as a coach and as both the goalies, I guess, during the remainder of the season?
Well, I would say, let's go back one calendar year to right now. Jack Campbell was the guy.
Yeah.
Stuart Skinner, like on paper, it was going to be, well, Jack Campbell played 49 games the prior season plus 7 in the playoffs, so played 56 games.
But the money.
Let's see if he's, and the money, the contract. So let's say I thought Jack Campbell was going to play 50 to 55 games. Stuart Skinner was going to play 25 to 30, 32. It didn't work out that way because Campbell never settled in. He didn't look very comfortable. So Stuart Skinner had this dream year. He, takes over as the number one. He signs an extension. I believe he had a baby. Like, he had like lots of, he made the all-star team. Like, it was just like every box you could check, this guy like hit it last year. And then in the playoffs, yes, I thought there were times where he didn't look very sharp and it overwhelmed him a little bit. So there's still a learning curve here. That was his first full season in the NHL. So even if there's a step back as far as play, I still believe, and now you're asking, take me behind the mask. The competitive nature of Stuart Skinner is the reason why he got to the NHL, is the reason why he had a great season last year. So what it's going to do is it's going to force him to elevate his play. Yes, there's going to be a lot of noise around Jack Campbell, just like there was a year ago. There was a ton of noise about Jack Campbell. And Stuart Skinner's a young guy. He's going to get the experience. Now the noise is just a little bit different. So his competitive nature is going to go, okay, well, I'm going to let everybody know, like, I was the guy that drove the bus last year. I want to achieve that again. So to me, it's about him, that internal drive and pushing it. And then he's going to have to block out all the noise outside of, the talk of Campbell and the talk of who's starting tonight, all that fun stuff. That's for us to talk about.
And we will, a lot. Noodles, before I let you go, where do you come out on Nurse and Bouchard being a thing again? They've gone to them here in the preseason. We haven't got a chance to see Ekholm just yet, so who knows? Maybe they put Bouchard back with Ekholm, but a lot of people are viewing it here where Ekholm might be the guy to mentor a Desharnais or Broberg in that spot. But, if this is going to work, Nurse and Bouchard are going to have to be excellent together. Do you think that's something that sticks this year, or do they go back to the well of what happened last year?
Well, you always have the luxury of going back to the well because it worked. I'm fine with experimenting. I'm fine to see where Bouchard can get. You guys know I love him offensively. Defensively, he's still learning. Young defensemen have to go through that process. I like Ekholm as the stabilizing force. I didn't like the news of what was it, a little hip flexor or something for Ekholm. You got to make sure he's 100%. You can't have a lingering hey, he plays 2 games and then he's out. I want to make sure because he is still the anchoring force back there. Now, that being said, you got a guy who makes $9 million plus. And I loved one of his quotes. He said, I think it was Darnell Nurse said, I'm paraphrasing, but saying, I get blamed for everything, including the traffic on the Yellowhead or something like that. I believe he said something like that. And I want to see Darnell Nurse find another level or the level that, got him $9 million a year. And that's where the pressure is on. Not Bouchard to take a step of what can he do and all that. It's going, okay, we got a $9 million defenseman who's been in Team Canada conversations who, a couple of years ago in the playoffs played, 150 minutes in that type of thing. And show why he's capable of that. So I think he had a wildly inconsistent year last year. but I still am bullish on Nurse because I would much rather have him be an excitable player, a guy who wants to be out there and be a difference maker than to have to cattle prod him. So I think he's when I come back to all of this, I still think it lays on Darnell Nurse's shoulders to be the stabilizing force for everybody, not Ekholm. So, then the trickle effect, Desharnais, Broberg, Cody Ceci needs to be very consistent too. He can't get lost in the shuffle here. So that defensive core, if they play to their potential, they're solid, but it all starts with Nurse for me.
Excellent, Noodles. Great chat, buddy. Looking forward to having you back on again this season. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll chat next week.
Nice to see you.
Absolutely. Nice to see you guys. Chat soon.
See you later, buddy. There you go. That's Noodles. Find him on Overdrive and a bunch of the TSN NHL regional games as well. Brought to you by our great partners over at Pro-Am Sports. They've got a Grant Fuhr signing coming up here as well. Just go to proamsports.ca. You can order all the items. They got those half, like the 1987 Canada Cup thing, which that would look good in here. That would look good.
You get a Noodles signing here shortly, hey?
And Jack, Ken, if you're listening over at Pro-Am, how do we not have a Noodles signing?
But who is this power couple? That's what everybody
I know
wants
people
to know.
are texting and being like, who's the power couple?
Who's the power couple? Who could it be?
That's a really fun game. I mean, I know Noodles is buddy with Chad Kroger. So could it have been
power up there, right?
Yeah.
I
mean, probably could have been something there. Somebody did text in and suggest it was Dion Phaneuf and Alicia Cuthbert.
Okay,
that would make sense.
Does the O-Dog get mentioned? Does he make the list?
Who is this power couple that forced Noodles to try an oyster? Yours, that Canadian power couple. Your suggestions to the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. Yeah, that's some good guesses. Some good guesses rolling in there. You talked a little bit about Darnell Nurse and Bouchard. The thing is, it'll be tough for Nurse because Nurse got his deal after this season in which they were only playing Canadian teams. And let's be honest, that's a different beast than playing the rest of the National Hockey League. So I don't know if Darnell Nurse can ever get back to that level that we saw that season that cashed in the deal. That was probably a little bit of an overpayment anyway. The key, what Noodle said there about Darnell Nurse is consistency. If you can find the consistency in Darnell Nurse's game, he is going to be more than just fine. So just a matter of finding that for him. And, if that is with Bouchard, then excellent, because then you can use Ekholm to work with one of the other younger guys. If it's not with Bouchard, you find another way to make that happen. All right, coming up, we'll continue with this discussion on the Oilers and what type of lineup you expect to see tonight. We can revisit that. What's it look like if they decide to play Nuge down the middle? We can certainly get into that. But free advice is on the way next for Damon Bunting. What do you need help with? Life advice? Work advice? We had somebody earlier asking for a conch today. What's that, right? Asking about having to work with their boss today who they don't really like. I don't know if we have advice for you on that one. Well, he might. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, Matt's been really pissing me off lately. I was joking. Any advice, though? Hey, like bedroom advice? I mean,
fantasy
you
football
advice,
fantasy hockey advice. It's fantasy hockey draft season.
Fantasy basketball.
But what do you need help with? 780-218-9999. My guess for the Canadian power couple is Jay and Dan. Guys, it has to be the original Canadian power couple of Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod.
Maybe Louis Pasaglia and Pam Anderson.
Yeah, that would be good too. That goes back to our CFL Kelsey Swift comparisons from last week on the show. All right, let's get to a sports rewind here with Lieutenant Eric. Then we'll dive into free advice. We got your cool bet hotline of the day still to come as well. Can Mr. Lean get it done again? Mr. Lean. God, we got to put that together, don't we? We just hit goal today.
If he keeps winning like this,
that's good. All right, let's get to a sports rewind with Lieutenant Eric. Mr. Lean.
MLB Wildcard Series kicked off yesterday. It was the Jays dropping the opener in Minnesota 3-1 to the Twins. Kevin Gausman giving up a pair of home runs to Royce Lewis. Minnesota also snapping an 18-game postseason losing streak with the win. Elsewhere, the Rangers shut out Tampa 4-0. Diamondbacks double up the Brewers 6-3, while the Phillies took Game 1 over the Marlins 4-1. All Game 2s go today. Game 2, the Jays and Twins. First pitch, 2:38. Jose Barrios will get the nod. The Oil Kings shutting out the Raiders 3-0 over in Prince Albert last night. The club look for their third straight win when they visit Saskatoon this evening. They'll return home to kick off a 6-game homestand Saturday night against the Raiders. Oilers and Flames tonight in preseason play from Ice District. Edmonton round out preseason action against the Kraken Friday. Puck drop on the regular season's next Wednesday out in Vancouver. Match day 2 in the UEFA Champions League group stage continues this morning and this afternoon. Of note, RB Leipzig and Manchester City meet atop Group G. And you can join myself and the entire Edmonton Sports Talk crew tomorrow for Bears and Commanders at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Centric Casino Fort Road. Another chance for you to qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to LA to catch the Rams and Browns. This Sports Rewind brought to you by Universal Rewind, industrial electric motor sales and service. Servicing many industries we rely on daily, from agriculture and aggregates to food processing and industrial manufacturing. Choose expertise, experience, quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
The EST Hangout.
And so Giz and I and Willie Pless and Benny Goods, I took them up to the Northwest Territories. So we stop for a smoke break and we get out. Giz decides it's minus 35 degrees now, strips down to just his boots, and he starts sprinting across the ice. And he's the only thing contrasted against this white backdrop. He slides. Shh. He said, "Jed, look at me, Jed." And he's got nothing on. So we get in the car, and the guys are all in the car, and I get out, and he comes back, and he's like banging on, "Don't, it's cold, Jed, it's too cold." And I'm coming in behind him, and I'm just bap, bap, and you can see these big, giant, ashy handprints right on his gluteus maximus, right on either side, and he starts to cry, and he's got snot coming out. "Jed, it's so cold, Jed. No, man, I'm sorry, Jed. I didn't mean to do it, dog. Dog, it's so cold, man."
EST Hangout, weekday mornings at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio. Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast, located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielsen Show, featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
$7:27 on the Nielsen Show. Thank you very much for joining us. Eric Macramala coming up here around 7:45 this morning. What's the weather looking like today? Hey, let's dive in here for everybody driving to work today. 8 degrees right now. Looking for a high of around 12 degrees for today. Maybe 13-ish. But a beautiful weekend coming up. I can't believe we're hitting highs of 21, 22. How am I supposed to start dropping floods in for the backyard rink?
Well, you got to do the yard work first, which is what I'll be taking to the. You got to clean up the rink, and then you got to lay down the.
Well, the problem is the damn trees. The leaves are falling so late into the year. It's tough to get floods in. When we had leaves falling off trees still in January last year. Now with this new leaf sucker upper, it won't be as much of an issue because I can get on the ice and suck everything up before a flood, right? Let me know if you need to borrow my sucker upper.
I have a sucker upper.
You have one?
I don't use it though.
Well,
I
you
just
mentioned it the
use
other
the blower. I don't suck them up.
Really?
No sucking.
It's good because it
Just blow
mulches it right in, and right into the bag. It's pretty.
I have the option if I want. This is like the Oilers. This is like the center thing.
You probably get them at Spectrum Rental. If you're looking for a leaf sucker upper, find one at Spectrum Rental. Maybe. Matt Krumala for Park Mazda here in about 20 minutes. What do you need help with? It's time for some free advice. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat today as well. If you need a little bit of advice this morning, what are you looking for help with? It is brought to you by Damon Bunting. If you're buying or you're selling a home or a commercial business, Damon Bunting is your guy. Top producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among the Western Canadian RE/MAX realtors. I mean, this guy is the Connor McDavid of realty. You can't go wrong. DamonBunting.com or find him on Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. I think he replied yesterday to our photo of us with the picture with Cam down at Alley Cat. Said, nice hats.
Oh, yeah.
That was nice. Anyway, you can
Damon,
find Damon on.
Maybe.
Actually, Maddie, you got my text about getting Bunting in on the yeah. So Bunting is good buddies with Jay Milne. So I was thinking that's a perfect hangout with Bunting and Milne. I think that would be great.
And I can get some of
And
that
he's a local
Edmonton
sports
Wildcat
guy.
swag
He talks
finally.
well.
Yeah. Milne needs to come back. I need that Wildcat swag. Give me the swag. I
He'll
got
hook-
money.
He'll hook you up with something. I like Jay Milne selling Wildcat swag under the table and keeping the money.
Outside by the spa.
Imagine being that greasy. That would be
keeping the money.
amazing.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, our free advice for you, Milne, is don't do it. That's the last thing you need. Milne removed from Wildcats after swag scandal.
EST fiasco.
That would be tough. That would be tough. But yeah, if you're buying or selling or you want advice or you're just bored and you want somebody to talk to about your home, maybe you're not even selling, but you just want to have Damon to come and check out your house and tell you how much it's worth.
Hang around, you know.
I don't think he has time for that. Very community-driven guy involved in a lot of different sports here around the community. Has a basketball court like almost full size in his backyard.
He would
and, like,
make
has
time.
games and
He would
stuff.
make time for you.
If we ever
He would
have
make time.
If we ever have a Edmonton Sports Talk 3-on-3 basketball tournament for charity, of course, we're doing it at Damon Bunting's house.
Maybe like an and one mixtape afternoon or something.
Yeah,
eh?
I could be
You could really take your trick shots out.
I'm the professor. Have you seen the professor? He pops up on my TikTok all the time. This guy. Absolutely incredible stuff. He was on that
You've been
M1
waiting
video.
for this moment.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, no, it's been good. So look, if you're buying or selling, you need some advice, Damon Bunting's your guy, DamonBunting.com. And we joked about it, but I don't even know if we're joking anymore. If you want to get into the slumlord business and have a bunch of sketchy apartments, he can sell you those too and give you all of the advice that you're looking for on that front. 780-218-9999. Kirk Cousins or Justin Fields this week, Dusty? Where are we going to be on Thursday night?
Century Casino
And
Sports
who's
Bar
playing?
Lounge. The Commanders.
And Justin
And the
Fields
Bears.
and the Bears.
Yeah.
We're going to be on Justin Fields this week, so I think I got to go with Justin Fields there. Hey, boys, I need help with my CFL Fantasy League. What's your best idea to defeat the Norfolk Pirates next year? Justin of Balgonie of the Baltimore Stallions. He's in our six-man league. I can't give him advice. I will say this. I'll give advice to everybody in our league. Maddie reaches for the mic immediately. Because it is it's the best CFL Fantasy League going. See what it takes for Maddie to grab the mic. And if you're really going to start a CFL Fantasy League, the only way to do it is a six-man.
Yes, and using the information and the templates from somebody else who has a successful four-man league that's been going on for close to a decade. You just got to get that out there. Right, Maddie? Right?
My advice to everybody would be draft better. Just draft better. The entire starting lineup that I rolled out in the final was guys I had drafted.
Well,
none were waiver pickups.
Yeah.
None were trades. It was literally a lineup that I drafted.
Serious question, because the waiver wire kind of the first couple weeks, it's a mad dash and a sprint to that name that you haven't heard of yet that's going to go on. And
Yeah.
But then as the season goes on, and for us, it's tough in the 4 and the 6. How is that for waiver wire action all the way pillar to post, or are you you're dressing things up prior to the postseason?
I did get Austin Mack early in the year on waiver wire. That was one of those guys that you went to.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, I would love to have the guys that you got to choose from on the waiver wire. Like, wasn't Mizell like a pickup midway through the season or something?
He was a tweener.
He's a tweener. Yeah. He was my starting running back all season. So, I mean, I think there'd be a lot more fun on the waiver wire. But we had a pretty good list of waiver wire candidates along the way. Your guys' waiver wire would obviously be stronger in a smaller, less competitive league.
Just another reason. How could you say less competitive league?
I knew I'd get you.
How could you say less competitive league?
I only said it to get you, buddy.
You can't say less competitive league.
Well, it's less
it
teams,
wasn't.
so it could be less competitive.
We had a three-way race from start to finish. Right off actually, McCord was there for the first couple of weeks, and then he fell off. We had pillar to post, a 3-team race. You had no race.
You're going to say something on the waiver wire. That makes it...
Well, we have everything.
That's more entertaining, right?
Absolutely. It's the whole thing. And
scrap
to the advice, it's you nailed the advice. Be better at drafting.
Draft better.
5 of you couldn't draft a good team.
I got
5 of
Vernon
you couldn't
Adams
draft
like
a team that would compete with Scott McCord's team.
I got my quarterback.
Did you hear this?
I got my quarterbacks. I went Trevor Harris, Vernon Adams, back-to-back round 6 and 7.
That's about right.
6 and 7?
Yeah, 6 and 7.
I know. I take quarterbacks pretty late.
You
late.
do.
Yeah.
But I think
one year
VA
I didn't take quarterbacks until my last 2 picks.
VA was one of the. He was a top.
You go early in yours?
I think fairly.
It depends.
Early. Yeah. Well, did McCord take him though?
No,
your brother got him, didn't he? Yeah. Anyway, I'd just say draft better would be my advice there. Free advice for Damon Bunting.
Goes a long way. Yeah.
The other one is just get into a better league.
I love Brent is in. It says, Dusty, Maddie took the bait. I knew I'd get you. I was just like, he's going to come in and say something. And then when I said the competitive thing, I saw you grab the mic. I love you, Maddie.
It's just factually incorrect. It's just factually incorrect.
Mr. Lean.
Mr. Lean.
We got to get that jingle made, man. Like, that would be perfect when we bring you in for the leans. That's good. All right, let's go with this one. Boys, my wife has a work party that she wants me to attend tomorrow night, but I want to come to the Thursday night football affair. How do I get out of this?
Bring the work party to us?
Yeah. How big a company is it? Like, is it a massive company? There's going to be like 1,000 people at this work party. That makes it tough. But is just you work for a small company like us? You could say, why don't you take the crew out to the casino tonight?
Casino?
And then
fun.
you full-blown Mrs. Doubtfire this thing, and you're running from our table over to the other table. Hello! Why? Your wife's like, why are you using an accent?
Yeah,
What's going on here? Why are you actually dressed like Uvajaniah? What was her name? Uvajaniah Doubtfire? Uvajaniah.
I totally forgot that name.
It was something.
Yeah.
Something. Here, look it up. I'm pretty sure it was Uvajaniah Doubtfire or something like that. I saw it in a newspaper, right? Came up with it.
Uvajaniah.
Uvajaniah?
It's spelled with an E. EUPHE.
P?
Yeah.
You put in there?
I can't even pronounce it. Euphigenia. Yeah, you had it right.
Yeah,
Just say it
Euphigenia.
real
I
fast.
got it.
Yeah.
I nailed it.
But anyways, bring it to the casino.
Yeah.
Box Pounder is going to be having a draft, hockey draft there tomorrow night. He's game. I mean, why not? I said, well, you do know we're having that. It's a casino.
That's a great idea.
You got rooms. There's lots of space to do a multitude of things.
I should have scheduled
meeting.
the one hockey draft that I'm in. We're doing it next
Why
Tuesday,
not?
but we
Yeah,
should have done it at the casino on
Why?
Thursday night.
Do it next Tuesday at the Eccentric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge.
Maybe we set up a rival draft to Box Pounders and make it better.
Show up any night. It's the home of drafts.
Keep 2 for the rest of the season. Standard League. Love, Fields, or Purdy? I'd probably go Fields and Purdy in that one. Tony Pollard or David Montgomery this week? It totally should be Tony Pollard. I'm not going to blame you if it's Tony Pollard, but David Montgomery has a way better matchup than Tony Pollard, and David Montgomery gets those goal line carries for the Detroit Lions. So I would probably start David Montgomery, even though nobody in the world would agree with me on that one. This one comes in from Colette this morning. A lady. I've been dating a guy for 3 months now, and he's taking me to 4 wine tasting events. I'm not a big wine person in general. I've only been going just to be nice. Should I continue with this or bail on him? What do you think, Rick?
Going to wine events?
Yeah, so she's dating this guy, apparently, and he's taken her to 4 wine tasting events in the first 3 months, and she doesn't necessarily love the wine.
3 months,
It's like every 3 weeks.
You don't like the wine. Well, what's the play here from the guy? Is he just a wine sommelier?
Or
is that what
does
it
he
is?
think he's trying to impress you by being a wino? And if you just were straight up with him, I'd probably be honest here and just say, hey, listen, I'm not being impressed with these wine tasting events. I'm not really into the wine.
Could I perhaps choose an activity for once? Like,
That's a good. Well, I don't know.
Sounds like
She
calling
could
the
be
shot there.
planning other activities in between these wine tasting
That's
events.
a lot of activities.
But it would be weird if the only things that he's planned for dates is wine tastings. That would be strange to me.
A red flag, perhaps, eh?
A little bit.
What I don't know, but it's. Expand your horizons, man. Take it for a brewery tour. So you go to a. If you like to drink, there are other options. Wine tasting is.
Yeah,
boring. I'd be bored.
That's a weird one. Any advice? Let's see, actually. Here we go. This is why I got a nasty chat now. It's 780-218-9999 as well, obviously. JCD780 says, tell him you don't like wine. Yeah, I get. Oh, Hontorio Mome says, tell him that she's pregnant. That's a cruel way to get out of a wine testing. Quinn Phillips. There we go. Let's see what Quinn says. Bail. He should ask if she wants to go. It's a really good point. Although maybe he is asking, and she just keeps saying, "Yeah, I'd love to go." It's like when I first started courting my wife. I pretended that I liked exercising. Like, oh, yeah, you exercise too? Yeah, me too. And then eventually you're just kind of honest with the person. You realize, actually, I hate exercising.
But by that time, you've built up enough credit.
Yeah, that time you've got the
nobody
credit.
really cares by that point. So now,
I hope this is a story of love years from now. And they go, remember when you used to take me to those wine taste testings and I didn't really like them, but I wanted to impress you by saying, oh, yeah, I love the wine.
But this is really the time where you either stay on the ride or get off, right? Like you're kind of, this is it now. You kind of got to make a...
How long into a relationship do you actually just start being 100% honest with the other person as opposed to like not being yourself just to try to impress them a little bit? What's that go? A month? A few weeks? 6 months?
Because that really is the understanding point, hey?
Yeah.
You kind of...
Then you're like, oh, okay. This person is somebody I like.
You don't care either, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to be doing these charades anymore, eh?
780-218-9999. Would you trade Alexander Madison or DeAndre Swift for Jake Ferguson? It's a full PPR, and my current and only tight end is Higbee. I would not trade Swift for Ferguson, but I would consider Madison. I mean, depending on the other running backs that you have in the system, I would keep Swift because he does have that big game upside. Madison's a dud. I mean, when you're an organization that goes out and trades for Cam Bloody Acres, then you don't like Madison because he's a dud.
He said it.
He's a dud. You know who's not a dud? Damon Bunting. Free advice brought to you by Damon Bunting. He's also on the pre- and post-game show sponsorship package with Tommy and the Oil Stream pre- and post-game. Visit him, DamonBunting.com. If you're buying a home or you're selling a home, this is your guy. DamonBunting.com is where you can get in on that one.
Watch for him on the Hangout, right? Watch for him on the Hangout. It'd be coming.
Yeah, no, Bunting will
soon,
be great.
right?
But a Bunting Milne Hangout, that's top-notch local sports programming right there. Eric Macramala is on the way. Who's got those last-second Macramala intros? Get yourself in the mix for Text of the Day with A&W, 780-218-9999. Send us your Macramala intros. And Strummy, if you're still watching on YouTube, you had a hilarious one on YouTube earlier today. Text it to us so we can get it in the mix for Text of the Day because I know a lot of people like that one. 780-218-9999. Macramala is on the way next, but first, let's get to a sports update with Lieutenant Eric.
MLB Wildcard Series continued today with the full slate of 4-game twos. Jays dropping Game 1 out in Minnesota last night, 3-1 to the Twins. Royce Lewis with a pair of home runs. It was the Jays' 6th straight postseason loss, which is now tied for the longest active streak in the majors. Elsewhere, Rangers shutting out the Rays 4-0. Arizona doubling up Milwaukee 6-3. Phillies taking Game 1 at home over the Marlins 4-1. That Jays-Twins Game 2 goes this afternoon. First pitch 2:38. Jose Barrios will get the start. Oil Kings shutting out the Raiders last night in PA 3-0. The club will look for their 3rd straight win tonight when they visit Saskatoon. They'll head home to kick off a 6-game homestand Saturday night against Prince Albert. Oilers host the Flames tonight in preseason play. Edmonton round out the preseason against the Kraken Friday. Puck drop on the regular season is next Wednesday out in Vancouver. Match day 2 in the UEFA Champions League group stage will continue this morning and this afternoon. Of note, RB Leipzig and Manchester City will meet atop Group G. And you can join myself and the entire Edmonton Sports Talk crew tomorrow night for Bears and Commanders. We'll be set up at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road. It'll be another chance for you to qualify into a draw for a trip for two to LA to catch the Rams and Browns. The Century Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. Sports Update brought to you by Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. Mitch sent in his application to the real world, so he's hoping to hear back from that. He's put a lot of his eggs into that basket, the MTV basket.
Oh my God.
Why am I looking at that?
Wait, why are you slowing down? Frank? No way. Frank?
Hey, honey. Hey.
What on earth are you doing?
We're streaking. We're going up through the quad to the gymnasium.
Who's streaking?
There's more coming.
Frank, get in the car.
Everybody's doing.
Now.
Okay.
Lease the all-new 2024 Mazda CX-90 inline-6 turbo or plug-in hybrid to have room for absolutely everybody with its third-row seating. Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Two guys and a goalie.
I don't mind analytics. I just don't like when people are like only analytics and only this, and they're like, oh, you can't do that, guy is, and so he's horrible. And I'm like, let's watch the tape, and then let's look at those analytics and say why some of that stuff happened before we make our decisions.
Cass is good in the sheets, the Excel spreadsheets.
I was going to say,
like
Cass, what do you think of analytics? By the way, this episode will be called Cassalytics. Hey, I think it's got to be.
Yeah. Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey. Saturday mornings at 10. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for The Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Sports night, huh?
Like, oh, data muncher? Num, 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 num. That's right.
All right, welcome back to the Nielsen Show. Cruising along on a Wednesday, a game day, Oilers and Flames. Tonight, we'll continue to get you ready for that right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, Edmonton's clear choice for Edmonton sports. We have 3 questions too many, kind of easy trivia. Greg Wyshynski, the rap for William Huff, Cool Bet Hotline of the Day, all on the way in hour number 3. Shout out to, I think, Jen in the Nasty Chat telling people to hammer that thumbs up button. Appreciate that, Jen. Keep going. Let's crush that number as we work our way through the day. The Macramala intros today are on point. People are coming over that text of the day here for A&W, the text of the day. Macramala, as always, is brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where on their website they actually have a link to a site that says Macramala is officially banned from the Park Mazda website. This guy not allowed. They got like the red thing around him and then the line through the middle. It's canceled. He's not allowed.
You can take shots at him on this other website. Right?
Yeah, that's true. It's like an axe throwing contest. All right, let's get to some of these intros right now. A few of these just kind of rolled in. EST legal analyst and guy who keeps taking his date to the strip club because he swears the buffet is the best food you can get. I'm going to take you out for dinner tonight. Oh, where are we going? The strip club. The food is amazing.
I thought it was going to be a guy that keeps asking the date out to a wine tasting every 3 weeks here. But
yeah, EST legal analyst and the one guy at the orgy who complains about the chip dip.
There's always an orgy one, hey? There's always an orgy one.
There's always an orgy one. I don't know
theme.
what it is. EST legal analyst and guy who can't walk past a storefront window without checking his ass out in the reflection. Eric Macramala. And ESC legal analyst and guy whose morning meetings are just the entire staff silently admiring his sexy poses in his latest Instagram post, Eric Macramala. And he joins us now. He's on the phone. He's doing big business somewhere, I would think, this morning because he's a very famous and popular lawyer. And he joins us this morning for Park Mazda. Macramala, how are you doing, buddy?
My man, I'm Canada's favorite lawyers. Although I am in Denver, many of those texts coming in are of the lascivious sexual nature, but all I'll say, I can't comment on most, obviously, but when he listens is right. Every time I walk by a mirror, all I say is I just mutter to myself, killer body.
Not just the butt, hey? The whole body.
The body from top to bottom,
you
baby.
stand in front of a mirror and you try to move your pecs, like
those
just
quads
with your
don't lie.
muscles,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't happen, but you're in your mind, you're imagining it happening, right?
I'm here in Denver, and I gave a talk at this intellectual property conference along with this VP of IP for Meta. Meta, turns out, is the Facebook folks.
Yes.
And I wasn't aware. The problem with the talk, and I addressed it off the top, is that when you're up on the stage, there was no table in front of you. They just had us sitting in these little chairs. I'm thinking to myself, my pants are too tight. This is going to be distracting. Like, the table in front is key. And so I just said, I'd like to have a table to conceal my misshapen upper body, which is not the truth because I have a killer body.
Killer body.
Right? But I was just like, what are they focused on me, or are they looking at little Macramala? Like, it was a difficult time. So I understand what your listeners are texting in, and they're right to focus on my killer body. Now, Mitch, I've been banned from Park Mazda. I'm going to start doing the Mitch from Park Mazda reality tour. This is what I'm going to do out of spite. I'm going to pretend that I'm the real Mitch from Park Mazda and start giving tours around the dealership. What do you guys think about that? I think this is going to be gold.
The Mitch from Park Mazda reality tour.
Just
drives left, right, and center.
Full-blown school bus like Kramer, too. You're just going along and giving all the wrong information on the vehicles there.
This is where I get my sandwich. Is it Subway? Yeah, that's right. I like turkey. I'm Mitch.
Did you go to Denver just to be in the United States for the opening day of baseball playoffs?
I came down because I had to do some work. It just happened to be that it's nicely aligned with baseball. I went to a Rockies game Saturday night, and it's interesting because the person that designed the stadium, like where you actually sit and watch the game, finished first in his class. The person that designed the concourse finished last in his class. I've never seen a concourse that is so poorly aligned with the actual stadium. The other part of it is they've lost over 100 games. I think the Rockies have. I think the second worst baseball team in MLB, maybe something like that. They're almost sold out. This is fascinating to me. I know it's the home that Larry Walker built. I get it, but man, they suck, and there's no incentive on ownership to improve because everybody goes to games. It's really fascinating to me.
Is there nothing else to do down there?
You can go hiking.
Oh yeah, big hiking community. Yeah,
everyone hikes. I mean, I remember the old days when I was single, and you look at those, those online ads for like for for partners and stuff, and all these women indicated that they love to go hiking. But then I would go hiking, there'd be nobody there. I think they lied.
I would go hiking, and there would be nobody there. Oh, you're on fire today, buddy. Hey, I saw it again pop up. I think it was TSN Radio in Montreal that is yet to be canceled, but I'm sure at some point it probably will be. Now, I saw
my show airs there. Yes, I know. Dwindling.
They're talking about the Expos again. Like, there's still people within baseball who are like,
well, Brady was
still
wearing
got
the
to bring
jersey.
back the Expos.
Brady's
Tom
wearing the
Brady
jersey.
puts on the jersey.
Miguel Cabrera, all this talk.
How much does that hurt you, Macramala? Like, this has been,
well,
what's it been? So they've been gone for a long time, but for about like half of that, people have been like, oh, they're going to be back. Like, that must suck. But when you have to like drug along the whole time.
Or how horny are you for the potential return of baseball to Montreal here? Because that's what's happening, right, in the next 12 to 18 months or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not sexual, Eric. But I do love my Expos. Yeah, my dad was the urologist for the Expos, and so, which means every time I met an Expos player, I never shook his hand because he was going to see my father, a urologist, and it was best that we do not make any kind of physical contact with these players. So I was very close to these players. I enjoyed these players. But man, I mean, like what happened with Tampa, this joint custody agent was so ill-conceived, such a transparent attempt to gain, leverage with local officials, and to have them help build a stadium. And wow, look what happened. They're getting, the funding. Half of that stadium will be publicly funded. And is Montreal a viable target? I don't know. Like, why did the Montreal group say, we'll wait 5 years for half a team when you could get a full team in 5 years by way of expansion? That question was never asked by traditional media. And so I raised that question, and the answer to me is, well, it's one of two things. You're not up for the $3.5 billion price tag, $2 billion for a franchise, $1.5 for a stadium, or you've been told by MLB that you're probably not going to get a team. I don't know what the answer is, but that was the ultimate question that had to be asked, and it was never asked, and so therefore it was never answered. I don't know. I mean, you're looking at a different Nashville, and Dave Stewart, former ace for the Oakland A's, is leading that charge in Nashville. They want a team. That seems like a logical destination. Maybe Portland, maybe Mexico City. I don't know. Montreal would do reasonably well, I think. The thing is, it's kind of a bifurcated market, by virtue of language. And this is why I left. I'm the most common popular export, and that is an educated bilingual Anglophone that leaves the province. That's never good for business, never good for growth. And so you've got a bifurcated market. You got, media in both languages, and it's just, from monetizing that becomes problematic. I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I mean, I don't want to be aspirational. That's why when they had this joint custody stuff, they were talking about it. I was not aspirational in the way that I analyzed it. I was frank, and I said, this is complete nonsense. And it turned out to be complete nonsense. Could it happen? Yeah, maybe it could. It's all about money, right? Whoever will offer the most amount of money will get a franchise.
Is baseball,
but it won't happen for 4 or 5 years anyway.
I was going to say, is baseball in a good spot to expand here? Like, when you mentioned a few other cities where they'd like to put teams. Are they at a spot now where they can go, okay, you know what, let's continue to grow the league, as opposed to the conversation the last few years where it was basically, let's fix the sport for the viewer?
Baseball is at 30 teams, and like the NFL and the NHL, they want to get 32 teams. And there are enough players worldwide to fill up 2 additional rosters. So the league can expand. The NHL will expand by 2 teams probably within the next 4 or 5 years. And Major League Baseball will get to 32 teams. So I think that they're fine. I think that they can do it. The issue is they've got to pick 2 really great destinations. And they said once Tampa and Oakland, once those 2 markets are figured out, then they'll talk about expansion. Well, those 2 markets have been figured out, and now they're talking about expansion. So they will expand by 2 teams. The issue is where my guess is Nashville will get a team. It's that second city who gets it.
All right, man. We'll let you get back to standing in line, trying to get your hands on Rocky season tickets for next year.
Right. Elon Musk's mom lived in Montreal, right? He spent time there. If you make him angry enough at Major League Baseball, he'll buy an expansion team and bring it to Montreal.
You know what? That might actually be the most feasible thing to get the Expos back.
And I would love his presser. The name of the team, why? I'm like, okay.
For Yuppie.
Buddy, great stuff. We'll catch up with you next week.
I love you guys more than every letter in the alphabet.
There you
Take
go.
care.
That's Eric Macramala, EST legal analyst, and Blake. You can still try to slide in here before the end of the show and steal away the text of the day from somebody else who's already chimed in with a few good intros that have already rolled in today on the show. We do have Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. He's going to join us around 8:25. His thoughts on the Calgary Flames. Oilers play the Flames tonight. We talked a lot with Wyshynski about the Edmonton Oilers, but what does he expect from the Calgary Flames this season? What do you expect from the Calgary Flames this season? I'll tell you what I expect, Dusty. Nothing.
They'll avoid relegation.
Oh, that's it,
Mark
though.
it down.
That's the only expectation
They're staying up
that you can have. Anyway, hit us up in the nasty chat this morning. We see you over there. Appreciate the support. And, of course, you can text us in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Still to come in hour number 3. 3 questions too many. Kind of easy trivia. The Cool Bet hotline of the day. We'll lock in the line of the day, and we'll find out if Mr. Lean has any leans for us
Shave
as
your
well.
head and pierce your ear, please.
You need to buy into being Mr. We at
All
least,
white.
We at least got to get you a bald cap. And then you can put it on when you do your leans. That would be amazing. My God, that would be a ridiculous look. I love it. If you would like to play Kind of Easy Trivia today, we do have a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. I actually saw the new Mr. Mike's in Fort Sask yesterday. I almost went for lunch there by myself.
Well, it's casual, you know.
Yeah, Steakhouse Casual. Go by yourself.
First time I went to a Mr. Mike's was by myself.
It's the best place.
Yeah.
Super casual. We're also cracking. The packs are back.
As always.
Keller, Malkin, and Johnny Gaudreau, Hockey Triumphs. Okay.
Put her on the...
If you'd like to play Kind of Easy Trivia today, all you have to do right now is text us 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, and let us know, hey, I'd like to play Kind of Easy Trivia and win a gift certificate to Mr. Mike. Stand out in that inbox. Maddie Iwanek will pick one of you, give you a call. You will play. If you have any questions for 3 questions too many, fire those over as well right now, 780-218-9999. Tell your friends about the show. Don't go anywhere. Edmonton Sports Talk rolls on right after this.
The Lock Shop.
Remember in the dark days of the pandemic when we were sitting around?
Oh, yeah.
What the heck were we doing? Ping pong was huge in the first few months. But yeah, God bless the KBO. I really came to appreciate the bat flips in the KBO.
They didn't mess
during that
around,
period
hey?
of time. You know, shout out to the KT Wiz. Became my favorite team through all of this. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'll be honest. I'm not hitting a lot of Japanese or Korean baseball right now because there's some big games in the majors that we're hitting right now.
The Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for The Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District, Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Welcome back to the AM Nasty.
Mr. Lean.
Mr.
I
Lean.
can't get it out of my head. It's great, and he has those white shoes sometimes that he could.
He'll pull it
Halloween's
off,
coming
for sure.
You know?
Oh, dude, you gotta go as Mr. Lean for Halloween. That would look so clean.
Right.
Your head would gleam. There's a bunch of things we can do. I want to see
Charlie
Maddie
Sheen.
with that ridiculous bald head earring look.
Yeah, but a loose
That's what
cap,
I want to see.
a loose
Just like
bald
Mr. Clean.
cap.
Yeah,
Like, not
a
too
loose
tight.
one.
Just kind
Yeah,
of.
it's loose.
We're going all the
It's
way.
awful.
Yeah.
Also, we're pretty close to a Tales of the North here, hey? That is going to be a huge morning.
I think about it every day.
Huge morning. Can't wait for that. That's super exciting. All right, we've got Wyshynski coming up for Metal Supermarkets, your convenience store for Metal. We'll have that on the way. Cool Bet Hotline of the day still to come as well. The wrap for William Huff. And we're going to dive right now into a little kind of easy trivia this morning. Hey, if you're watching on a TV or if watching anywhere, let us know how you're watching right now. If we know that, what's the number on how many people listen? Like, not the number of people, but the percentage of people who listen on their phone. Like, a lot of people just be listening on their phone. Was it like on the stream start? So 87% or something? 91%. So 91% of you who are listening to the audio stream are listening on your phone. I'm assuming you're driving or whatever. You're doing something there. But if you're actually watching on YouTube right now, tweet at us. At Nielsen TSN 1260 or Yag Sports Talk or at Lieutenant_Eric. Tweet at us your setup and how you're watching the show. Then we retweet that out, and other people go, oh, wow, go watch the boys. And, it just kind of creates a little bit of buzz. Which we like to do around here. Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. Sirloin bites to die for, and a brand new location out in Fort Sask, coming in on the highway. If you're coming up in on the highway, it's on the left. You can't miss it. And try the classic Mike Burger. I'm sure it's just as good in Fort Sask as it is locally here in Edmonton. Scuba Steve is going to play kind of easy trivia this morning. So far, anybody who's played on the new show has got it right. And you know why they keep getting it right? Because they're so desperate to get their hands on that Mr. Mike's gift card. That's what it is. Let's go to Scuba Steve. Scuba Steve, how you doing, man?
Really good. How about you guys?
We are doing fine, man. Good. Thanks for supporting the show. Thanks for listening. And best of luck here. I'll start the ticker after I read the first question, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Did the Blue Jays win yesterday?
No.
How many runs did the Blue Jays score?
1.
Name one player who played on the Montreal Expos.
Tim Raines.
Who do the Oilers play tonight?
Calgary.
True or false, Jonathan Huberdeau is a defenseman?
False.
Boom. Does this guy know his sports or what?
No! My God. Damn it, Shake, stop it!
They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment. Totally. People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV. That's stupid. It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked? I'm stoked. Just so stoked.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Cannot come to my house. No, not today.
All right, nice work, Scuba Steve, getting it done. Hey, when we were coming back there, you were playing the bass. It looked like you had some bass playing abilities.
Oh, no.
No? Because your brother's a bass player. I just wonder if it
bass,
runs in the family.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a longer neck, so you're kind of, and you...
Like, both my sisters are phenomenal singers. Yeah. So I feel like I could probably sing a little bit, too, but I don't.
I can carry a tune.
You can carry a tune?
I've played my brother. I've held back in the day.
You've held the bass, yeah.
I used to guitar a bit. I could play a couple chords. I could give
my
you like a G
sisters play
or an
guitar,
A or an E.
piano, and stuff. They're musically inclined.
Like if I had to, yeah. Even piano, you can kind of like Marietta Little Lamb.
Yeah. Well, I only want to play. If I could learn one thing to play on piano outside of Hot Cross Buns, it's the beginning of the Dr. Dre song that you see people play sometimes, and then the whole place goes nuts when it really hits.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want to take adult piano lessons, only to learn the Dr. Dre Snoop riff.
That one
That's
lick,
it.
you could really, like, everybody talks about that acoustic guitar guy at parties, but if you're that guy, you get it going.
You're sitting around a fire, and everybody's like, oh, bring out the guitar, Oh, the guitar, hey? And then, I mean, if you could pull in a grand piano, that'd be great. But even the keyboard.
The keytar.
Like, just pull out,
Is he pulling out the keytar, and here you go, and it's like, ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding. That would be
Legendary stuff.
pretty good. Gus is in and says, when is Rick Pinter coming on the Hangout? Whoa. Hadn't even thought about Pinter on the Hangout. Does he know sports enough? I mean, I guess you don't really need to know sports. Just to be able
Did
to
you
talk.
see him at the Nasty Bash? I mean,
I
the
saw him
guy
at the
was
Nasty Bash.
dripping Lakers. He walks in there looking more cool than anybody else. I mean, I was like, who let their kid out this late? And it's Pinter with his baggy Lakers gear. That guy is looking fly.
That was pretty incredible.
I was not expecting that.
Me neither.
I'd met him before, and he was not the Lakers
Best drip at the
all
party.
over the place.
Best drip at the party.
No offense, Pauline Higgins.
Shout out to Pinter.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you see Pauline Higgins, not at the party, but on Twitter the other day?
What?
Yeah.
What?
She dropped it. This was amazing. This is why we absolutely love Pauline Higgins. And if we can somehow set it up to have traffic again, just to have Pauline involved in the show.
Just a hangout.
We would.
A hangout invite. Whenever she's in the neighborhood again.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't,
true, too.
She writes the schedule.
Anyway, she basically, I don't know if she deleted it after, but it was hilarious. And I did quote tweet it. But she basically said, just waiting around for the boys to ask me to, like, the sloth clip. Like, to come live with them, to look after them. Pauline Higgins. Pauline Higgins, this would be us to you right here.
You're going to live with me now. Yeah, I'm going to take care of you. Because I love you.
Oh, I love you, Chuck.
Oh, I love you, Son.
Oh, man. That was an all-time tweet anyway. That was good.
Waiting around. Hey, again, she gets, it's a free pass. Pauline.
Yeah, anytime she wants to
roll.
roll.
You're in town, you're in the neighborhood, hang out.
There's a few people who have that. Like, I'm very close to giving Fraze a free pass, but I also feel like Fraze would be here all the time.
Dicey game you're playing there. Yeah.
Fraze right now is on our short list for reception person. 100%.
Yeah. Looks good. You know?
Oh, he looks great
Face of
now.
yeah.
He could dish out the gift certificates and stuff, hop on the Hangout at some point. I imagine a world in 4 years when we have Shanks going and Fraze is on the show briefly every morning, but also managing the kitchen and the merch shop.
And bouncing the door.
At
Like
the
he
Shank,
said,
yeah.
he can bring out dad voice whenever he wants, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. So you can kind of.
That would be good. Kyle the Embalmer says, the Nasty Bash was a scene. Was it not? Imagine next year's Nasty Bash after a year of this. That is going to be absolutely incredible
Century
stuff.
Casino Sports Bar and Lounge tomorrow night.
Yeah, mini Nasty Bash tomorrow night.
Relive your dreams or nightmares, as it were. Or if you missed out, I mean, come get a taste, right?
Join us. We would love, and look, we've talked to a lot of our clients already who have seen like the support from Edmonton Sports Talkers and AM Nasties and stuff.
Yeah.
And we absolutely love you for that. But we would love to pack the Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino tomorrow night for that Thursday night. We're going to have our crew out there. Most of our blood relatives are going to be there.
Well,
Jay Milne said he's coming.
The one person who wasn't there in the summer is Renee. You'll get to meet
and
Renee.
a real life
for
Renee.
The real one. And she's got stories. You think Hot Summer Nights was something. Hoo-wee.
What was the one you told me she got hit by a car in Poland?
A passenger van.
A passenger van?
Like a multi-person passenger van. The stories, I don't want to give too much away. Renee's been through hell and back. And then she went through hell again and came back. Twice.
Hi, I'm Renee.
She can dislocate her shoulders on like.
Come on. And you said she watches the show. Like she follows along.
She's a degen. She gambles like hard, like college football. I'm talking like she's.
This is not the Renee that we imagined our Renee being, right?
It's somehow better.
This is a different, way better Renee. Anyway, you can meet.
The legend lives on.
You can meet her on Thursday night.
She'll probably sign something for you.
The whole crew will be there. We're going to be giving away a spot on the Hangout as well. And I'm going to be in a full-blown Justin Fields fantasy meltdown. And I know we're going to have some money on this football game, too. And on the ponies. I can't wait to bet on the ponies.
Hey, it's all going on,
it's
man.
It's going to be good. All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for this segment this morning?
Yes, I do. 3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where the entire staff will be out at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge tomorrow night for the Bears and Commanders. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. It's mandatory. If you don't show up, Mitch will have a word with you the next day, and yada, yada, yada. You'll be looking for a job come Monday.
Phrase at reception of Edmonton Sports Talk would definitely have one of those treadmill desks. The treadmill desk. And he's full-blown sprinting.
Well, he won't sit. He'll stand the
he'll
entire
stand the
time,
entire
leaning
time.
against the thing.
Well, it's good because it's a high desk. Fraser could stand at that thing perfectly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he
Real
could.
power move, eh?
Yeah. All right, question number 1 today. What do you guys think is the main driver? We had this discussion a little bit earlier about this. I guess this question comes out of this. What do you guys think is the main driver behind not playing McDavid, Draisaitl, and Nuge down the middle? So what would be the main reason, I guess, they're looking at why that doesn't happen more?
A few people have suggested Nuge's face-off capabilities, which would be something to look
Yeah,
at, I
is
guess,
that why
and
you keep
debate.
those guys together in the top
I don't
6?
think
Because
it's maybe
Nuge isn't great at
a main thing, but getting off the Paris Jewelers inbox in the nasty chat this morning, I'll go with that. I mean, you sprung the idea. I'm all for it. I'm not going against it, but a few people were hesitant on Nuge's face-off capabilities in that role. But I mean, hey, look, be better, right?
Work on it.
You are a center.
Like,
I mean,
work on it. It's like guys who can't shoot free throws. Drives me bloody nuts. How can especially the face-off thing's different because you're going up against somebody.
Yeah.
How can you not shoot at least 70% from the free throw line?
And Nuge hasn't been playing goal all his life, and we're asking, hey, now you gotta, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like this is an unfamiliar spot to his game or anything.
I've always thought the main driver of it not being the case is just winger depth. Like just and is that improving? They just got rid of Kostin. They just got rid of Puljujarvi. They just got rid of Yamamoto.
Well, what was your flanking for Nuge on
It
that
was
3C, just to kind of give people
where
up to
is it
speed?
again?
'Cause, I mean,
We ran the 3 centers combination today. Here it is.
and you have aspirations for this line, not to say that it would,
Brown, Kane flanking 97.
Yeah.
Hyman and Holloway flanking 29. And Raphael Lavoie and Fogo flanking 93. You could also put Janmark there with Lavoie and the Nuge. And that allows time for McLeod to kind of get back ramped up here. But or maybe it's because maybe another driver would be you don't want to play Nuge in third line center because it takes away some valuable minutes from McLeod, who you're trying to develop to a big third line center. So I can see why they keep Nuge on the wing because there are a number of drivers that would make it maybe not make as much sense. But
if and when McLeod gets back to that. Yeah. But currently present right now, I'm for it.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, and of course in the nasty chat as well. Let's get to question number 2 today. Oh, we're talking about today's meeting day. Every second Wednesday's meeting day here at the Edmonton Sports Talk offices. We've had some good suggestions on how we make our meetings, a little bit more professional. For a lot of you business people who are listening right now, if you have any suggestions, what are these things that happen at business meetings that we need to make sure happens at ours, like a roll call? YouTube Trev here.
But do we
Lieutenant Eric present?
Do we have an intro where we rip off your track pants?
I come in like that.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm gonna put that on the list for the agenda. Tearaway track pants for the whole staff.
Just in general. Yeah, okay, I like that.
You think there's any way the Hive for our merch can get us tearaway track pants?
Zip up button,
Mr. Lean.
whatever.
I'm meeting with Chelsea from the Hive product marketing later today. I could bring it up with
That's where we got those hats. We're going to have a bunch of merch. They're going to set up a store for us. So your meeting today, you can ask about the tearaways?
I will make that the top priority of my meeting with Chelsea.
So
there won't be
do we
anything
have to
else.
talk about your meeting during our meeting? Should
Well,
we
it's
put it
my
on the
meeting.
agenda?
It's
But
my
you
meeting.
want us to discuss anything for
Well, I
your
could
meeting?
throw it out there. There's
You know, we can throw it on the meeting.
We could throw it on there. Pardon?
Will it be prior to ours or after?
No, I'm heading out there too.
It's a post-meeting meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to her place. I get to see Fred.
I'll see you there.
Oh, you get to see.
Are you going too?
over there
Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, are
I'll
you?
watch the baseball game.
Are you in the
Oh, okay.
meeting?
No.
No.
I'll sit outside.
You
the
and
meeting.
Luke and Fred could go watch the baseball
you're
game, and
gonna
me
do
and Charles will
business.
do
Yeah.
business.
You do business.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Aren't you?
Should we talk about it
Oh,
at the
yeah.
meeting, scheduling our afternoons better? I didn't think you guys didn't even know you were going to be in the same place.
Yeah, maybe that's a.
We'll put it in this. We'll put it in the agenda.
Well, now we could
That's because
carpool.
he made a meeting with. Well, are we
Afternoon.
going out still after tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going.
I'll be seeing you all day.
Yeah, we're hanging out all day.
Hey, you can
that
come over
sounds
for
real
supper
nice.
if you want. Yeah.
Over
well,
for supper too. That
why
sounds
not?
real
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
that
Well,
sounds
you're
real
gonna be. When are you gonna have? You don't have time to go home.
I might make time.
So you're gonna not watch the full game?
My wife is not going to be home for supper either, so I got run to the house.
Okay.
Come over.
Because I was just gonna eat out.
Yeah. Well, we can do that too. We can do whatever you want to do. It's boys' night.
Wow, that sounds real fun.
Boys' night.
Do you guys want to come to power skating lessons with Marshall? Boys' night?
No.
No, okay. I was just throwing it out there.
Can I ask the
Let
third
me know. We
question?
could discuss
though?
it more at the meeting if you want. What's that?
Can I ask the third question for 3? I know this is totally out of bounds.
Well, we haven't even got to the second
I
one
thought
yet.
the second
We
one
got-
was
Was
the
about the
agenda.
meeting agenda.
The first one was about Nuge. The second was meeting agenda.
Yeah, but I don't even think I read the question about the meeting agenda, did I?
Please.
The question said, have you guys thought all about being a character from a movie for the office meeting today and the people have to guess who you are?
This
Thinking
goes
of
back
ways
to the
spice it
entrance
up.
too. So you're talking about like costumery or kind of a
Yeah, or you talk in an accent like a character. And we have to guess what movie you're from.
Joe, this meeting is a
Let's do it. What movie is this from? What movie is this from?
I
I just gonna be walking around the whole time and going, "Great Scott!"
Maybe we keep it to a movie theme like Jurassic Park cast,
And we all get to be Shotgun Ian Malcolm.
This meeting will be starting on time, right? There will be actual meetings in this meeting, right? Hello, as I'm tapping the camera.
Well done.
Can I get to question 3?
Sure, yeah, go ahead. We got Blue Jays question but there's a better one. Let's
Which
do it.
Nickelback song are you looking forward to as Nickelback will perform during the second intermission of the Heritage Classic, October 29th at Commonwealth Stadium?
What? Did they release this, or did you just
announced
find this out?
morning, just announced this morning about 14, 15 minutes ago. Yeah, the Edmonton Oilers tweeted out 14 minutes ago, Alberta's own Nickelback will perform during the second intermission of the NHL Heritage Classic, October 29th, Commonwealth Stadium.
So if they're performing second intermission, that means they're not the big concert.
Well, what's the big concert?
Is that
when's the
first
concert?
intermission?
Isn't there supposed to be like on the Friday or the
This is a
Saturday or
carry
whatever?
under-
There's
Who do
supposed
they
to be.
think they are? The Grey Cup?
Well, this is...
I don't know. There was supposed to. I thought there was supposed to be a concert that was also going on with this.
I was not aware.
This is the information we know as of.
And everyone was thinking that was straight up. Well, it'd just be natural to be Nickelback. But the other rumor has been Arkells.
Okay.
Well, Nickelback's bigger than the Arkells.
Wow.
Like if you're rolling out,
but Nickelback's been
you
doing
try
this
saying
enough.
that in Hamilton. You try saying that in Hamilton.
Nothing
get beat
against
up.
the Arkells, but come on. It's not even close.
Well, if you're going by
gonna
like
rank them on
accolades,
sales and accolades,
stats and stuff.
Nickelback is bad comparison. People are going to freak out, but like Nickelback's Connor McDavid and the Arkells are Ryan McLeod.
Ooh.
What, you guys are shaking your head?
Well,
You can't say McDavid and Nickelback together. You just can't.
Okay.
You can't. I'm sorry.
Well, why not?
They're not. McDavid. McDavid's reserved for like the Beatles or
I'm talking from a
Zeppelin or
Canadian
like.
perspective.
Yeah,
From a
but
Canadian
don't use
perspective, tell
McDavid
me
there.
who else
Don't
would be
use
McDavid.
McDavid. Don't use McDavid.
Nickelback's Draisaitl and Austin Matthews is the Arkells. You got the East-West
No
thing.
way.
What do you mean no way?
They're not that close
who's
to
better?
level.
Who's better?
Connor McDavid.
Well, Draisaitl.
Or Draisaitl, yeah, Draisaitl.
So yeah,
But I mean,
matches with your
to
theory.
me,
right?
to me, it's more like Nickelback would be Draisaitl and the Arkells would be Willie
But
Nylander.
it's not.
And I like the Arkells, but you guys are way overhyping the Arkells.
No, we're not. I'm just underselling Nickelback a little bit here. It's not that Arkells are better than Nickelback. We're trying to say here. It's that we've had Nickelback enough already. You can make the argument same with Arkells that we've had enough of them as well.
Too?
But like we had them at the Junos this year, and they had a concert here recently, didn't they? And it's just like, okay, they've been around enough already. How about something different?
Arkells are bigger with the youth, right? Like the youth of today. Nickelback was kind of when a little older.
Yeah, I guess, but Nickelback is significantly larger than the Arkells.
Yeah, the reach and the stats. You're looking at stats. You're a numbers guy, analytics here, but
Johnny Gaudreau, Jack Eichel.
Another Gaudreau.
Markstrom. We got way too many Johnny Gaudreaus today. Gross. We got to hit a big hit. We haven't even got one of those fancy ones you said yet. How many packs have we cracked already? This is ridiculous.
Out of
Look
the
at
years, we've been doing this, we haven't had a
we haven't
fancy.
pulled one redemption ever. We basically are the driving
That's
force
BS.
for these bloody cards in Western Canada.
You've had boxes and cases and
it's insane. Gager says, "Do you still have access to the Brotzel Psi?" Gager, in fact, I think we might.
It fully
By the
downloaded.
way, huge shout out. We got it.
It fully downloaded. It's all in numbers.
What?
You never name them?
What are you talking about? It's all in numbers.
The file names are all numbers, basically.
Like all 10,000 of them?
Yeah.
Oh no.
There's also another file, so maybe it's a Burley file that labels it.
Oh.
This sounds like a YouTube Trev
But
job, eh?
YouTube Trev?
Yeah.
No, you know what? We'll give this one to Tommy.
Because
let's get Tommy in.
Put it on the meeting agenda.
list.
Yeah.
Tommy handles the
10,000.
Burley
so
audio files.
there's another file that I don't know what the files are, like the extension of it, and I might be the program Burley's. That's what named it all, but everything else is all just numbers.
Quickly though, that's nothing to do with what I requested.
So I got those two.
That's fine.
Those files were the files. The file names that you asked for, you're gonna shout out to Trev who got this.
But we have them.
Not YouTube Trev. We have them.
Okay.
They're just, like I have the 100 gigabytes worth of audio,
We got it all.
but you now have to sort through it.
Yeah. All right.
That'll be a fun walk down memory lane, hey?
When am I
get you going? Get the juices flowing again.
When am I going to have time to sort through? You know what? I'm going to take it. And while Suits and I, two good buddies, are sitting around watching that Bombers-Lions
Two good
game,
buddies.
we will sort through Vault Audio.
Oh, he'll love that.
I think it'd be a
couple
good
glasses
thing
of
for him.
red and
Yeah, I think that'd be a pretty good thing for him to get to. What did you want? Should we just get to Wyshynski? Why don't we do this? Let's do the Cool Bet hotline of the day. Then you can call Wyshynski, get Wyshynski on, and then we'll bang out an update.
We need a lean too.
Well, that's what I mean. We'll get into leans too, and then we'll get into Wyshynski. So we're not going anywhere here. So stick around, and then we'll get to that update. We got your weekly
rankings.
Are they good to go?
Yeah.
Rankings of Power coming up after Wyshynski. That'll be for United Sport and Cycle, and then that update will be for United Sport and Cycle as well. Once again, when you're calling the shots around here, we can basically put things together however we like. So. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting. All right, let's get into your Cool Bet hotline of the day. I mean, we have to go to the, bet preseason hockey tonight. I don't know about that. We go back to the Jays. Probably got to have back on the Jays here to keep their season alive.
Or the Twins, maybe. The long ball. Hey, is there
do we fade the Jays? I think fading the Jays would be the perfect way to wrap up this season. Like, make some money on the Jays losing game 2.
It'd be a good ending to the book.
But the way their bats have been, you can't possibly expect them to win a bloody baseball game.
People were mad this morning in the Paris Jewelers inbox because we had that faint glimmer of hope that, the Jays into the playoffs yesterday. No, now everybody's crashing back down to reality. Would you want to go that route again?
I almost want to go under 7.5 runs at plus 102. The Jays bats are non-existent. If they get to the bullpen, the Jays bullpen should be able to at least keep the Twins in check. But anyway, let's go to Mr. Lean here. You want to do the jingle?
Champions League. Mr. Lean. Mr. Lean.
Mr. Lean.
He knows Charlie Sheen. Just got to rhyme randomly.
You got to
It's just who cares?
Finish that phrase for us. Mr. Lean, Mr. Lean, something, word that rhymes with lean. All right. Maddie, what are you leaning today?
I'm kind of looking at, but
you had 2 yesterday. And you
I know.
Yeah.
But there's also, you could add to this if you want to as well. So I'm just going to throw a couple things. And the numbers have changed slightly. Because I looked at this earlier. There's been line movement. Not much. Man City taking on Leipzig on the road. Man City only minus 135.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
I would have thought it'd be like in the 200s or something.
Both had to win in match day 1.
Yes, and like it's always tough to go on the road, but City's the type of team that could go out and put up 3 on the road, no problem. So them at being minus 135, there's the one way I look at that. But also, if you want, you could get it to plus 140 if you add an Erling Haaland goal in there as well.
Oh,
so if you had a City and a Haaland goal.
What's a Haaland goal on its own?
Player goals. Because I was doing the bet builder there.
This guy's diving in to bet builders at coolbet.com.
Minus 116.
Minus 116.
Yeah, so I would probably just stick with the City win over the Haaland win.
Yeah.
Or goal. But if you combine the two, it's plus 140. If you want to get a little spicy.
Yes, Mr. Lead is on fire today.
If you want to get, so tonight, this afternoon, big Champions League match, Newcastle at home to PSG.
You're going in there, are you?
Newcastle 143 plus money, draws plus 245, PSG's plus 203. If you think PSG could win this, if you're looking for value, a PSG win
value play on the lead.
Plus, did this change again?
Wide movement on the spot.
Wow.
So I have it 2 ways for this one. If you do PSG to win, but draw no bet. So if it's a draw, you get your money back.
Yeah.
PSG's plus 114.
Plus 114.
Which is, so if it's a draw, you get your money back.
Yeah.
If PSG wins, it's plus 114.
Right.
If you go PSG win with an Mbappe goal, it is plus 360. If you look to go a little further as well.
All right.
But the leans
Those
would
are the
be
leans. What are the
City
official
win.
leans? City win.
City winning today would be the main lean
Okay.
for me.
All
That's
right.
that's
And you
my
had
lean.
Real on
lean
the
of
road
the day.
yesterday as well in Napoli.
Remember, he's not betting anymore.
And
These
I
are
had
leans.
an Inter at home.
2-0 yesterday on the leans.
And I also leaned on Seattle on Monday. So
your official cool bet hotline of the day. I'm afraid the Jays are going to go out with a whimper here. And if the Jays go out with a whimper, I think there's more value on getting the under 7.5 at plus 102 than just the Twins at minus 133. So your cool bet hotline of the day today will be the under 7.5 runs in the Jays Twins game, plus 102. Let's go smash that. So cool bet knows that the AM Nasties have been sent their way. How about this one? Mr. Lean, Mr. Lean. Hear his voice he's never seen.
That's apt. Like that works.
That one works pretty well, actually.
I'm here for kind of the crazy.
I like that.
I was listening, Mr. Lean. Mr. Lean, hamburger helper is a scheme.
Mr.
Again, it doesn't make any sense,
Mr.
but,
Lean.
Thank you, Jenna.
Anyway, keep those Mr. Lean jingles rolling in. 780-218-9999. Or I do like the idea of eventually, there's a camera sitting there for Maddie to have on him. I do like the idea of only having on him when he goes to the leans, and one day a week, he puts on the bald cap.
How about we just never see his face? Hey?
Yeah, that would be good. We could just put a question mark over your face, so it's a mystery, even though everybody already knows who you are. That would be good. All right, let's dive into... Greg Wyshynski is going to join us from ESPN, brought to you by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal. Any metal, cut to size, ready fast, just like a 7-Eleven, but for metal. Wyshynski, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well. How are you?
We are doing just fine, man. Really appreciate it. Where do you come out on hamburger helper, Wyshynski? Just came up in the message chat. What?
Never really ate it as a kid, and never really. I mean, eat it now because I didn't eat it as a kid. I think if I'm having ground beef, it's going to be molded into a burger, or more than likely, it's going to be cooked up in a pan with some old El Paso powder that's strongly flavored with cumin, and into delicious tacos. Is usually what I would do with it.
You a meatloaf man? No, or
here's the thing about meatloaf. I felt that as an album, Bad Out of Hell was really cohesive and good. But I didn't think it required a sequel is the issue.
R.I.P.
That's really good, buddy. I appreciate it. I wanted to bring it up because you said, if I was going to have ground beef, I'd have it pushed into a hamburger. When I go to the States, and I haven't been to the States a lot lately, but when I do go to the States, it does rattle me still when they're like, how would you like your hamburger done? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, everybody in Canada does a hamburger fully cooked. I don't understand, Wyshynski. How are you guys raised that way? It blows my mind.
Wait a second. Okay. I've been talking to Canadians on the radio for like 15 years now, and this is the first I'm hearing of when you go to a restaurant that makes a good burger, and you say, and you're in Canada somewhere, you're like, I'll have the burger. They just give it to you well done. They don't modulate the temperature inside the burger.
Nobody asks.
They just cook the burger the whole way through, and that's how we have every burger in like the history of Canada.
Nice and gray.
This is insane.
I can't believe you didn't know this. Like, you're right. You've been on like Canadian shows, our show, for like a decade and a half. You didn't know about the burger difference between Canada and the United States? Wow.
But here's the thing I don't understand. Like, I've been to like the Keg. Like, I know you guys make a medium rare steak. Why is it different for a burger?
I mean, I don't have the answers to this, but it's just the way it's always been.
There's something with the preparation of ground beef.
Okay.
That they have to just make sure it gets to
done in Canada. Is this the law? It's a law in Canada, I guess. It's legal.
It's a law in Canada. So if the beef is it's just together, like we just sliced it off the cattle, it's together, then we can make it delicious and rare. But if you chop it up, the same piece of meat,
fair enough,
then you have to cook it all the way through, or else what? The grubs and worms show up inside of it. What is going on in Canada?
I'm assuming our ground beef process is just awful. That must be what it is, and that's why we have to make sure it's fully cooked. But
we're always behind the Americans.
Yeah. Well, so how do you have your burger then, Greg? Like, because the times when
medium rare.
Wow.
Medium rare.
Wow.
You have to have some pink inside of it. Absolutely, it makes it juicy. It's good. It's the texture of it is good. You don't run into a situation where, again, like harkening back to my childhood with the hamburger helper stuff, like my dad would chronically overcook burgers to the point of it being gray inside. And, maybe he's got some Canadian in him. I don't know, but I like a big, I don't like a smash burger as much as I like a full beefy, thick burger. And you make it medium rare, and the juices dribble out when you bite into it, and that's how I eat it.
I could get down on that.
My wife would never do that. She hates she has to have everything well done. She would never eat a burger in the United States.
So in your defense, though, like when you go to like McDonald's or like a fast food place, or even like a fast casual burger place, like usually they're not asking you if you want it medium rare, like in the States. They're just going to cook it to their specifications, and usually it's going to be more well done than anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess the outlier is people going to a burger place and specifying how they want it cooked, because I think the majority of places that you go to are going to cook it well done, and obviously we have an entire country above us that cooks it well done as well.
All right, Wyshynski. Well, we'll talk to you later. No, I want to get in Oilers and Flames tonight. Obviously, we've beaten the Oilers to death. Clearly, we've even talked about expectations for them with you. But I'm not sure we dove into the Calgary Flames with you, man. Like, what do you expect from the Calgary Flames post Sutter here? Do some of these guys who, like Huberdeau and Kadri, is there a bounce back year, a year of freedom now that there's going to be a new staff in place?
Pelche changes his number for crying out loud.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like
Everybody seems to be living that free life.
No, I mean, I think I would be shocked if Huberdeau's numbers don't trend back up. I mean, I think that the change in scenery, the shock of the trade, and then having to go and play for Gerald Sutter was probably too much for him to handle. And I think that's understandable when you look at the sum total of what he was dealing with last year. So I think his numbers trend up. And look, again, like on paper, this is a pretty talented team, but how many goals are we going to see walk out the door without replacing them? I mean, 2 summers ago, it was Gaudreau and Tkachuk, which obviously was a left hook to the chin of the franchise that it still hasn't recovered from. And then Tyler Toffoli gets traded to the Devils in the summer. That's 30 goals. That's your leading goal scorer last year that you just saw walk out the door as well. So, like, again, my beef with the Flames is that they continue to be a supporting cast in search of some stars, because they were built that way, and then their stars left. And I think that I'm interested to see what kind of coach Ryan Huska is, but the thing that's going to maybe get them into contention, maybe get them to sneak into a wild card, is going to be whether or not their goaltending, which on paper should be pretty good, bounces back from being rather pedestrian last year. In particular, Jacob Markstrom, and also the curiosity is of whether or not Dustin Wolf, who's done everything he can do in the AHL, gets a chance in the NHL to really shine. So I think their fate rests on, again, replacing more goals that left out the door, and then whether or not the goaltending can carry them a little bit.
All right, so I'm reading one of your articles right now, and it starts like this for everybody listening. This is from Greg Wyshynski of ESPN.
I think I know which one it is.
Yeah. The Edmonton Oilers are going to win the 2024 Stanley Cup. Now, you are a well-known Oilers hater, have been for a long time, obviously. But you predicted them to win last year as well, so you're doubling down, just a year early?
I was just a year early. Like, what I didn't anticipate was, and we talked about this before, like, they needed to have that sting of losing. They needed to get that snarl. They needed to both, Connor and Leon, get to their Nathan McKinnon, I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore, playoff loss thing. And that's where I think they are. So my theory last year is that 2 generational talents on the same team are going to win a cup eventually. Mario and Jágr did it. Sid and Gino did it. Gretzky and Messier did it. Like, it's going to happen at some point for these 2 on this team. It's just a matter of when. And so I thought last year could be the year, and it turned out not to be. But I think based on everything I've heard, I talked to Leon, I talked to Connor in Vegas during the media tour. I saw you had Drager on the other day talking about Connor behind the scenes. Like, I've heard some stuff about the way he addressed the team after they were eliminated and his expectations for this season being this kind of thing that you'd like assign to Messier as far as like the captaincy and leadership. Like, he is clearly fed up with it. Leon and I talked about it. He is clearly fed up with it. And once you get to that point where losing doesn't become an option, it's usually where you win. So I'm running it back with them. Like, I was tempted to be a homer and pick the Devils, but I don't think they're quite there yet. I think Edmonton's there, and I think maybe I was just a year too early.
You think the Devils are close though?
I do. I'm curious. I'm curious about a couple things with them. One is obviously, like, anytime you get a young team that does what they did last year, you worry about them getting a little bit big in the head and maybe losing some of the details in the next season. But the thing I'm really curious about is what happens to the back end. So, their goaltending is very average unless Akira Schmid becomes something that he's not right now in the regular season. I think their goaltending is very average, which means you have to be very good in front of that goaltending. And they lost Damon Severson and they lost Ryan Graves in the offseason. Graves to the Penguins and Severson to the Blue Jackets. And those are two good, solid veteran guys that cleaned up a lot of messes for them and played really well and had really good first passes and things like that. Really helped that system work. And, they're replacing them with Colin Miller, who's just a replacement level defenseman, and then Luke Hughes, who's going to be dynamic offensively. I mean, I think he's going to be a star offensively, but defensively, the details aren't quite there yet. So I am concerned a little bit about them on the back end. Maybe they have to figure that out. Maybe they have to get a little bit more mature before they can really make the leap.
Greg, what do you have coming up over at ESPN between now and the beginning of the season that people will be interested in?
Well, I don't know, Dustin. I just wrote 12,000 words in the last 2 days on goalie tandems and predicting all 4 divisions, which is the story that's on the site now. It's my favorite column to write every year, and
it's a good one. I was whipping through it. It's deep, man. You got a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, it's deep. I mean, I'm not trying to. I mean, I do short trips the worst teams, but everybody else gets a good amount of run. And then Friday. Not something any Canadian is interested in, but I am writing the Lapsed Fans Guide to the 2023-24 season. I know every Canadian knows exactly what happened to the NHL chapter and verse over the last few months and won't have any need for this column, but it does run on Friday.
All right, man. Next time you're up here, I'll take you for a good well-done burger, all right?
All right. And make sure someone there knows the Heimlich as I am eating the burger in case there's a situation.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later. There you go. That's Greg Wyshynski, brought to you by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for any metal, cut to size, ready, fast. All right. We got that update coming up. But before we do that, we got to get to Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings.
Okay, you want to go right now?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's keep moving along.
Weekly rank whenever you
want. There's no
here,
reason. Let's get into the weekly rankings of power, brought to you by great friends at United Sport and Cycle, your home of hockey for over 95 years. And right now is United Sport and Cycle's Hockey Days. Hockey Days is always a big thing at United Sport and Cycle. Hockey Days are on now. You buy a new pair of skates, and you'll receive a free blade profile all the way up until October 15th. All right, so if you're looking at a new set of wheels, go get it done at United Sport and Cycles. I'm in there about every, 3.5 months buying my monster son a new pair of skates. And they
3.5.
They take care of him pretty good. This kid, Marshall's 8. He's wearing size 7 shoes, like men's 7. He's got size 7 shoes. He's 8 years old.
I can't wait to get some of the basketball shoe. I don't know if he's there
in
yet.
basketball.
You're
Plays
getting
basketball
high
on
tops,
Mondays.
but like big, expensive high tops, top of the line high tops. Like
you should see his feet when he's on the basketball court. He's got these really nice like Adidas basketball shoes.
I love it.
But they're huge. They're huge feet.
He's a basketball boy.
I mean, that could be where it all settles in when it's all said and done. But anyway, they take care of you very good at United Sport and Cycle. Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power, buddy. What do we got here?
Installment number 2 of the new show. I'll be going over the top 10 things that I'm most excited about for tomorrow night's Edmonton Sports Talk gathering at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge.
Yeah.
Centric Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. If you don't know, you know now.
We see many of you in the nasty chat and on the text line today at 780-218-9999 for Paris Jewelers. A lot of people are like, we'll see you tomorrow night, boys.
I can't wait. It's a Thursday night going into a Friday.
Yeah.
I mean,
imagine if we all got so wrecked, we just made the call that we're not doing anything Friday.
We can do whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want.
We can do that.
Yeah, if you try to tune in on Friday and we're not here, it's like when, what's his name, went to see about a girl in Good Will Hunting. Right? You're almost happy
like that.
for
That's
him.
a great,
You're almost happy for him.
Great example.
All right, here we go. Number 10.
A chance to meet Tom Gazzola's entire family. and like, actually, most events you can meet Tom Gazzola's entire family at. Like, if you go to anywhere that he's in publicly, they're all there. But this is great because I love Paulie as much as Tom doesn't like him, and they're kind of in a. Are they still in a spat?
Oh yeah, they're still in a spat.
Still spatting?
The last time I had them separate, because Tommy's been telling us, he goes, man, Paulie's just been like really mean to me lately. And then when we were at Tommy's birthday, I was chatting with Paulie for a little bit, and Paulie goes, man, I don't know what's up with Tommy. He's not even helping with the dog.
And they don't.
You guys are hilarious.
When they're out, we were at Murray McCourt's, and thank you, Murray, for inviting us to that suite. But they didn't even get close to each other. Like,
Tommy and Paulie are like 13 and 15-year-old brothers.
I mean,
I'm here for it.
That'll be more entertaining to watch maybe than the football game. I don't know, between the Bears and the Commanders. But that's going to be something. His dad is always a treat, but caught up with him at the Elks game.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
But Tom and Paulie's mom and Renato's wife,
yeah,
his wife, She's been traveling Europe for like the past 3 months.
She's rolling back in.
She's gonna have stories, pictures. She'll show you her entire phone. So Gazola's entire clan will be out, and I mean that's worth the price of admission. It's worth getting checked at the door, the whole bit. So that's number 10 on the list.
All right, number 9.
The chance to see me get cracked at the front door by security. This is a little bit that I've been drumming up here every Monday and Thursday that I've shown up. Every Monday and Thursday I've shown up since the start of the season. Somebody different's been working the security at the door.
Oh, boy.
And it's a casino. And it's Fort Road. And you can't carry like large bags. We're
going to be bringing that big one this time.
Yeah. But you walk into a casino looking like I do with a large bag, and you say, "Hello there, sir. I'm here now." And they like, "What are you like?" And nobody knows like kind of the communicate. It's a big casino. They got other fish to fry other than me coming in there and emceeing a football night. So I show up and last week I actually had to open the signed bag, and we went through it. I said, "Do you want me to set it up?" And he goes, "No." And but I've been escorted back. Like I've had a team take me to the back.
Seriously?
Oh, it's great.
You've been escorted back
by guys with earpieces because it's a casino. This isn't just like you show up to a bar, you have a bouncer at the front. That's fine. This is a casino, and they're dealing with lots of money. Like there's lots of big bills, and
I
chips.
feel like they think you're there to Ocean's 11. These guys.
I know. No, and that's what I feel like walking in because I don't look.
Should we scope it out for a possible Ocean's 11 situation?
We could.
Then we could get enough money to do like real proper marketing and stuff.
They have rooms there. We could rent out a room middle of the afternoon. We could set up our planning there. You could squeeze down event.
What are you going to use the room for? Oh, we're planning on robbing you guys, and we want to get a good look on the inside.
Show up, wait at the front doors for me to arrive, and then we can all do this hilarious process again, and you can see it happen.
All right, number 8.
Free square board and your chance to qualify into the draw for a trip for 2 to LA.
Have you ever heard about a free square board at any point in your life?
It's free, and it's going to be packed. And that like tomorrow night, it's going to be so it's free. You get a jersey, an NFL cap. They always have a random NFL paraphernalia, and they do a good job at the paraphernalia down there for free to guess at the square board. Plus, the trip for 2 to LA, Rams and Browns. The draw is end of November. The trip is beginning in December. So you get to go away before Christmas. It's that before Christmas, all expenses paid trip to LA.
That's
you get
nice.
a little football game, all that. And then you come home, and then you can worry about Christmas. Maybe you do a little shopping down there as well, right? Maybe you can a few gifts that you can't get up here. Maybe it's some like medium rare beef.
We're bringing a bunch of back medium reef.
Try getting that over the border, right? But a trip through to LA prior to Christmas, man, you can't beat that. And it's all free. So you might as well just show up, get on the square board, get in the draw box. It's free.
All right, number 7.
Box Pounders hockey draft.
I want to chirp them all. Hey, he was higher on my list, lower on my list.
I admire their courage to be coming into this night and having their hockey draft. I said, if you want to do it, by all means, I mean, more the merrier. But if you want to watch a hockey draft go down from Box Pounder and his friends, I mean, that's fun as well. And the chirping, right? You do whatever you want.
Gotta love a good draft chirp. Number 6.
Not having to worry about the Blue Jays. Which means Rob will be there. And Rob's been showing up randomly to the Monday and Thursday nights. I said, can I count on you being here Thursday, Rob, with the crew? And he goes, I'd love to. But if the Jays are in that third game, I'm watching with his son. And I don't want to take that away because father-son, baseball, October.
Important time.
It's the stuff, it's memory-making machine. So, Rob, although I do hope for your sake the Jays do well, I do kind of not because then you don't have to talk about them and then you'll be there enjoying the game with us. But that's fine. That's fine.
All right, number 5.
A chance to meet the crew. I've developed a good hand. I could probably 2 hands. I could count the amount of regulars that kind of meander around the place. Not necessarily in the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, but in the casino and the off-track betting and others. So
Eric loves this place. I cannot wait to get a taste of it.
I'm fitting right in. I'm this close to having my own personalized mug or Stein. I don't know, but something like that. Just the crew. There are names. There are faces that you'll have to familiarize yourself with, but I'll get you up to speed.
Number 4.
Enjoying a large glass of red wine.
Yeah, you're a red wine guy now.
I have, for the health benefits, as Fergie's prostate correctly states. He's got me on the red wine. A large glass, start the night, and then you just...
So Fergie's back on the wine, too. He had that major heart issue.
He had a heart attack. He couldn't lift anything over a pound.
Yeah, Fergie's just back on the train.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll be out there.
The worst thing around is a quitter.
When you talk about chirps, he's chirping.
Oh, yeah. He's very inappropriate.
Very.
Number 3.
The Caliente Greyhound Racetrack. They got the ponies there. You can do it all. It's whatever downs, the Queen's Plate. I'm just throwing out random words here associated with horse racing. But we had the handicapper there was last week, the official Century.
Yeah.
We got the card here.
So. Yeah, it's right here. Frank Fontana.
Now
There's only one thing Frank Fontana can do, and that is talk about horse racing.
Like if it was a guy named Eric, and I give you a card, you're not really taking me. Frank Fontana knows the ponies.
Yeah.
He's going to be there tomorrow night as well. So you got the horse track racing. That's always going on. People are yelling and screaming at it. But then the Caliente Greyhound racetrack is always coming up on the preview. So it's always something you aspire to. As I said, the sun never goes down. You can always chase the sun when it comes to betting on like animal races around the world. So it's a beautiful thing. It never sleeps there at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge.
All right, number 2.
The smoked brisket cheesesteaks.
Oh, man. I think I know what number 1 is or who number 1 is, but the brisket cheesesteak being number 2 on this list has me very excited.
Well, look,
Imagine rolling in tomorrow and not getting one. What are you even doing?
It's not, I wouldn't suggest. There are, if you don't want it, come up and talk to me. I got a few other, I can tap the shoulder. We can go to the bullpen if you like.
Are you at all worried about a shortage of brisket because of the crowd we're going to roll in there with?
I better not be. Like,
We
I'm
should
not
probably
worried
give
right
them a
now, but I
heads
don't.
Let's get that extra
can't
brisket on
happen.
board. Yeah.
It can't happen. I will gladly take less brisket if that means somebody else getting a brisket.
It'll become known as the great brisket shortage of 2023. Surveyor Brett, get ready to put it in your phone.
Lock her in.
All
But,
right, number
you gotta
1.
get it. The number 1 in the top 10 things I'm most excited about for tomorrow night's Edmonton Sports Talk gathering at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road. Your chance to meet Renee.
Hi, I'm Renee.
She
I'm
sounds just
everything
like that.
you didn't think I was.
It's true, but more and better. We had so much fun with Renee.
Yeah.
And you have over the years as well. And who is it, Ryan? Your buddy?
Gwyn.
Gwyn
Gwyn with a G.
That's a name, too.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
We never
Gwyn.
really talked about that.
Gwynner.
Tony Gwyn.
Call him Gwynner.
But yes, Renee will be there. Renee runs the entire shop. It's her place. So
It's meant to be.
It's so
meant to
good.
be. Like, because they just launched this. We just launched what we're doing.
Yeah.
And when we found out the manager's name was Renee, I was like, oh, this is going to work. This is going to work
And it
for
might
sure.
work. Like, she may not know
Yeah.
the bit. Like, oh, we'll tell her about it. She knows. She knows she's locked in.
So make sure you join us Thursday night, Century Casino Fort Road.
Tomorrow.
That's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.
The weekly rankings of power brought to you by United Sport and Cycle's Hockey Days. They are on now. Buy a new pair of skates and receive a free blade profile. Technically, I'm not even sure I know what that means, but I know it helps you get around the ice a little bit better. Here's what we're going to do. And this is what we're going to do here. We're also not going to promos again. You want to hit the sports update for United Sport and Cycle?
Sure.
And then we'll just get right into the wrap.
I
William
like
Huff.
this.
Let's just
Okay,
blow it
let's-
out.
you wanna go? Yeah,
Let's
let's go. I can-
promo-free
I can do whatever.
sports radio. Let's just do this. Let's keep rolling. Let's get into a update from Lieutenant Eric.
Game 2 of the NL and AL wildcard series will go throughout today. Jays Twins, that first pitch, 2:38. Jays drop in the opener yesterday afternoon, 3-1. Royce Lewis with a pair of home runs. Jose Barrios will get the nod for the Jays later today. Elsewhere yesterday, the Rangers taking Game 1 over Tampa 4-0. Diamondbacks double up Milwaukee 6-3. And the Phillies taking Game 1 over the Marlins 4-1. Edmonton Oilers back in preseason play tonight. They host the Flames from Ice District. Edmonton round out preseason action against the Kraken Friday. Puck drop on the regular season next Wednesday. Also return to the Tales of the North as the Oilers visit the Vancouver Canucks. Oil Kings, they shut out the Raiders 3-0 in Prince Albert. The club will look for its third straight win when they visit Saskatoon this evening. They'll return home to kick off a 6-game homestand Saturday night against those PA Raiders. Match day 2 in the UEFA Champions League group stage continues this morning and this afternoon. Of note, it's RB Leipzig and Manchester City meeting atop Group G. And once again, you can join the entire Edmonton Sports Talk crew tomorrow night. Bears and Commanders, Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. This sports update is brought to you by United Sport and Cycle, supporting hockey and your community for over 95 years.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
All right, the show rolls on. Let's put it on the meeting agenda today.
That's weird.
Nielsen Show format. Hey, put it on the agenda. We can talk about this.
The whispers of hour 4 echo around the room.
Oh my God, what's happening? What's happening here? But yeah, we've just been rolling through this third hour. Hopefully you enjoy what we're bringing you today. And if you do, tell your friends. They can watch the show on YouTube. They can listen live at edmontonsportstalk.com. And of course, just in case you miss any of the episodes, make sure you subscribe to the podcasts. All of them available wherever you get your podcasts. The Hangout is coming up in less than 10 minutes. If you're watching on YouTube right now, Make sure you have the autoplay on right in the middle of your screen. Hover your finger or your mouse or whatever over the YouTube video. There's a little button there. Turn on autoplay. That'll take you right into the Hangout today. Dean Millard in the house. He's going to be joining a combination of Batty and YouTube Trev and Lieutenant Eric, because Tommy Gazzola is going to be in a suit down at the rink, and he's going to be back here hopefully for the oil stream today, and then obviously the big staff meeting, which some good Mac Romali intros today. Although we did have a couple of pretty good text messages about the staff meeting.
Well, and the Mr. Lean jingle continued. Mr. Lean splits his pants right down the seam. We could really go on with this thing, and I want it on fire here with the leans. Hey,
yeah, look, man, when you're hitting leans at the rate that Mr. Lean's hitting leans, that's how you get that handle, right? What else did we learn on the show today, buddy?
Well, the experts chimed in, and as they normally do, both on the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999, and on the YouTube Nasty Chat. It was the ground beef, not really a debate. And props on Wyshynski for dropping the beef in the middle of his answer about the Flames. That was delicately put.
It was good. Also, the meatloaf tie-in was brilliant.
Yes.
Wyshynski's top-notch.
But people educated us on why and the rule. I mean, they do it differently down in the States. We do it differently up here. In terms of preparing our ground beef. So
when I cook my own burgers, I go a little pink inside.
I don't mind it either.
Yeah,
I'm not.
What are you, American?
I know there's a few, like I have to, when I'm cooking for some others, I know, like me and my brother, I know he could handle it. No one else that I would cook burgers for, I always know, okay, make sure they're well done because people don't want that little bit in there. I'm okay having a little bit in there. It does add that juiciness.
And for steaks, you're not like a well done.
I'll eat steak anyway. I could go.
Exactly,
I could go blue
but that's
rare
a different
type of thing.
preparation.
Did you guys see that text today about our ground beef comes from 100 different cows?
Well, and there's at the station, I had this conversation with JMO on there one time, and we got the text coming in of why, like, the ground beef, it gets mixed around, so the bacteria gets mixed around. That's why you have to cook it all the way through. And there's something different between ours and the U.S., and they don't have to do that like we do up here.
It was nice growing up on the farm because we would just shoot and kill our own cattle, and then all that ground beef would come from the one cow. The steer or whichever cow was like the weakest, we'd just shoot it in the head and butcher it. And then you'd have your ground beef. You knew it came from one animal, which is nice. I hope you're not having breakfast right now. But if you are, hopefully you plan in lunch. It'd be absolutely delicious. All right, let's get into the wrap here for William Huff. If you want your place to look as sharp as our place, get it done at William Huff. If I were you, I'd start wrapping your children's rooms in this stuff. Like right now, you'll put like a poster up in your kid's room. Yeah. Elizabeth, the Muzz has 3 of the exact same Cassian pictures side by side in her room. It's the exact same picture.
Even like you paint. I mean, once you paint, it's tough to peel that off, eh? Like
I think it would be. Yeah. If you want to look as good as this looks, William Huff, they'll take care of you. Been around since 1972. So you know that if they weren't good, they probably would have gone out of business at some point.
That's how that would work.
But they've been around since 1972, so you know it's legit. They provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands. How about 1,001? Right? We would be the one on top of that. Visit them at williamhuff.com. Bruce and his team will very much take care of you. The sound of the day today, I think it has to come back to the jingle that we've invented here for when we get to the Cool Bet hotline of the day, right? Mr. Lean.
Splits his pants down the seam. I'm all for the randomness of it all, though. This could really, you can rhyme a lot with the lean.
Yeah.
I mean, lean ground beef if you want.
Very easy to rhyme the word lean with things. So this is pretty exciting for us all moving forward. We'll get to your text of the day in just a moment. More suggestions, actually, on the meeting today. I think it was a YouTube comment that said we should all have to do a piss test, and then we said we do it in the same cup. And then you don't know if who's high, but somebody's high.
Yeah, that was the other.
That would be good. TV camera guy is in and says all meetings should start with a layoffs announcement. Sit down today. All right, guys. Just a couple of layoffs here. And
he did say no layoffs.
Oh, no layoffs?
No
layoffs. It's that damn little heart there that blocked it again.
Yeah, that gave you trouble yesterday, too.
I did. I don't know how to get rid of that. I'll just hit it. What happens if I hit it?
Layoffs
there we go. Just hammer into hearts.
Keeps you more.
Yeah, so a no layoffs announcement. Okay, that makes more sense. I guess I was viewing it the other way.
Yeah. We're so used to that.
All right, let's get to your text of the day today. Let's go to one of these two. You'll win a gift certificate to A&W. And I would like the person who wins today, when you go into A&W to use this gift card, tell them what your text was.
Yes. And then get all the chicken sandwiches.
Yeah. Yeah, the new chicken
I want
cruncher.
a taste test. I want you to rank them. I need a
Full-blown power rankings. The Chubby Chicken Cruncher, the BLT Chicken Cruncher, and the Nashville Hot Chicken Cruncher now available at A&W. Because I like them growing. I won it with this text. EST legal analyst and the one guy at the orgy who complains about the chip dip. Or EST legal analyst and guy who keeps taking his date to the strip club because he swears the buffet is the best food you can get. What's the text of the day, buddy?
Both highly sexual, which we always love. It's always an orgy thing. Am I just getting onto this theme? Like, has this been happening for a long time? Am I out to lunch here?
Apparently, the Paris Jewelers inbox is just a bunch of freaks, which we're totally
like
cool
to get
with.
freaky. Hey,
Yeah.
and they're supposed to be dropping by here soon, too. Hey, is that
Yeah, and we got the show meat delivery today, too, from Acme,
busy
which
day.
is very
and
exciting.
Iwannik
Very
and I,
busy day.
Mr. Lean and I have our boys' night, or boys' afternoon, as it were. This is boys' day here. Hey, this is going to be fun. It's not even Thursday yet. Give me the orgy.
All right.
I love
That's
the orgy
exactly
theme.
what we'll do.
Let's keep going with that.
I don't even know who sent that in. We'll have to track that down. EST legal analyst and the guy at the orgy who complains about the chip dip, Eric Macramala. That is your text of the day for A&W. So when you go into A&W, say, I'll take one of these chicken sandwiches because I won with this text about chip dip at an orgy. And they'll say, oh, you're the guy. You're the guy. That's amazing. Amazing. Maddie, I guess you never really know where you're going to go on the hangout, but do you have like you have an idea? I could probably be talking some Oilers, I guess.
Well, there'll be some Oilers NHL
stuff,
talk. Dino's a Dolphins guy, so I know not as big of a win against the Bills, but what was it like celebrating 70 points? Also, he's a Dodgers fan in baseball playoffs. Lots to get to.
Oh, yeah,
we'll see wherever else
there's a lot
this
to get to. It
goes.
should be...
Dino's here, and we're always going to have some fun with Dino. Yeah, and we always have fun with Dino, and it's great chatting with him. So
I might pop in for 20 minutes,
you
too.
can do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
jump
That's
on
the
in.
best part of the hangout. Yeah, no, that'd be fun.
No, and it's we had him a few weeks ago. It was great chatting with Dino once again. I always loved being on with him. So, this could go a lot of places.
Good.
And we're gonna have a lot of fun with it.
Make sure you have autoplay on. It'll transfer you right over there. And if you're listening on the live stream, you'll probably hear Club Beat Loop for like a minute, and then you'll have the hangout popping in as well. We'll be back tomorrow. Boy, tomorrow we got a busy show. We've got Luke Gazdick. He's going to make his Nielsen Show debut. That'll be good. Ian Rappaport, Best in the Biz. I got beef for Acme Meats.
And we might
crack
actually
some
have
packs
beef.
for Wayne's Sports Cards. Yeah, we could have show meat for tomorrow's segment, so that'll be big too. So lots going on tomorrow, and obviously we'll be breaking down this Edmonton Oilers Calgary Flames game for you as well. Hey, tell your friends to watch on YouTube in the morning, or at least listen online at edmontonsportstalk.com. As we say, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports Talk here in Edmonton. Thank you for joining us today. Stick around. The hangout's on the way. For Matthew Iwannik and Lieutenant
Go
Eric, I am
Marlins.
Dustin
Go
Nielson.
Marlins.
Enjoy that baseball action today. Enjoy that hockey game.